Dinos, live, love, get sauced.
Journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field. This is 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Newman Stadium here at North Allegheny High School. What a beautiful Friday night, and what a matchup we have to finish out our schedule on 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals. The top team in the Whitfield, undefeated Rams of Pine Richland. They visit red-hot North Allegheny. The Tigers looking to spring the upset. Well, welcome for one final time this year into our coverage. Along with Jeff Arnold, I'm Josh Maurer. Jeff, Pine Richland is trying to finish an undefeated regular season. North Allegheny, they've got a lot to play for. They could win a share of the conference title.
Yeah, they can. They've won 6 consecutive games. We're able to turn things around during that Central Catholic game. Defensively, got some things fixed. And meanwhile, offensively, they also have done a better job.
Eric Kasparovich has done an unbelievable job building this Pine Richland program into a power in a short period of time. Art Walker's been doing it at North Allegheny for a while.
Yeah, Art Walker had a great person to learn from, and his dad, Art Walker Sr., did a great job at Mount Lebanon. Meanwhile, Eric Kasparovich looking for that first PIAA state title.
A couple of standout quarterbacks for you tonight, and first it is the all-everything quarterback for Pine Richland, senior Phil Jerkovic. He's put up unbelievable numbers again this year.
He's only the second quarterback in Whitfield history to throw for 6,000 yards and a rush for 2,000 yards, and he's completing almost 80% of his passes.
Meanwhile, another number 15, another senior, and Luke Truman's done a bit of everything this year for the Tigers.
Unlike Jerkovic, who started as a sophomore, Truman had to wait his turn to get his job as the starting quarterback. He knows the offense really well and has lots of playmakers around him.
It should be a fun one here tonight. We are so glad you're with us. We'll get you the opening kickoff here from Newman Stadium. Right after these words, this is 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Shaped by the energy and opportunity of downtown Pittsburgh, the Point Park University experience is unlike any other. It's a more active, more engaged, more professional education. Ideally located, that's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
Your internet deserves the 100% fiber optic network. It's your last chance to get Fios 150 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds and TV and phone for $79.99 a month online for the first year. Plus, your choice of HBO or multi-room DVR service included for 2 years, all with a 2-year agreement. And Verizon Wireless customers can stream TV on the Fios mobile app, data-free. Hurry and switch now. This offer ends November 4th. Go to getfios.com.
You choose 4 years of talking about the real world or 4 years immersed in it. After a hands-on, career-focused education, Point Park University graduates enter the workforce prepared to succeed, professionally designed. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
The training, constant. The odds, impossible. The reason, it's personal. It's more than a game. American Ninja Warrior. Tonight at 10 on 22 The Point.
Saturday on Fox. Saquon Barkley leads Penn State against Ohio State.
Saturday at 3 on Fox 53.
Two powerhouse programs tonight. We come to you from Carl A. Newman Stadium. Pine Richland and North Allegheny. Yes, this means a lot for these schools to end the regular season. They are each headed to the Whitfield playoffs starting next week. Hey, do you think you know who's going to win tonight's game? Well, you can go to 22 The Point on Facebook or Twitter and vote in the Point Park University Poll of the Week. We're going to update the poll results throughout the game and let you know who's in the lead early on. The team that is #1 in the area. About a 20-point lead in our Point Park University poll. Let's introduce you now to the third member of our crew on the sidelines here at Newman Stadium on this gorgeous night. And we introduce you to Danielle Podlatsky. Hey, Danielle.
Thanks, Josh. Now the Pine Richland Rams are just one win away from a perfect season and a conference title. But the Rams aren't focused on any of that. Senior Jordan Crawford says that their goal is to just go out and play the way they have been all season long. Now, if North Allegheny can get the win tonight, they will be in a three-way tie for first place in the conference. Coach Walker says that they know they're the underdogs, but they aren't getting wrapped up in all the Rams' impressive stats. Coach says that playing this strong Rams team is a great opportunity for his players and is hoping it will further prep them for the postseason. Josh?
Danielle, thank you so much. North Allegheny, they have found their stride. Jeff, you talked about it at the outset. They've won 6 straight after they lost 2 of their first 3, and they haven't really been close in any of those 6. Last week they scored 63 points in beating Hempfield. So they have the confidence, but the question is, can anybody hang with a Pine Richland team that not only are they 9-0, they have not won any of those 9 games by fewer than 24 points.
You know, just as a fun exercise, earlier this week, we asked Eric Kasparovich, how do you beat your team? And he said, it first starts with great defense. You need to find a way to get us off the field, and you have to be able to limit the big plays, things that Pine Richland, with Phil Jerkovic as the quarterback, those are things that they're known for.
You see the coin toss taking place. And it looks like it's going to be Pine Richland that gets the football first here to begin the football game. So we're going to see Phil Jerkovic and that high-powered Rams attack. For that man, head coach Eric Kasparovich on the field first. Coach Kasparovich is in his 5th year. He's got a WPIAL championship that came when Ben DiNucci was his quarterback in 2014. Now he's got the great Mr. Jerkovic, and it's time now to take a look at tonight's Air Force Reserve keys to the game. Jeff?
Well, you know, for Pine Richland, it's keeping a focus on tonight. You know, you can't look too far ahead to next week. This is still one really nice test for the Rams before they get ready for the WPIAL playoffs. And as part of that, you don't want to have any major injuries, and you also don't want to be making many mistakes. You want to play the Pine Richland football that has gotten you to 9-0. Meanwhile, for North Allegheny, it's staying close early on. We can go back to that game against Central Catholic when Pine Richland got on the board very quickly, and Central Catholic couldn't slow them down. So that'll be a key for North Allegheny, and controlling the time of possession. They're a run-oriented team, and they must keep the offense on the field to be able to stick with Pine Richland.
So we are just about ready to go. There you see the junior Dom Falo getting set to kick it off. Tonight's Roxanne Can Kickoff is brought to you by Keller Williams Realty. High school seniors kick off your real estate career after graduation with our high school training program. Log on to roxannecan.com/kickoff for more information. And here we go. Cam Belay to the outside, and the senior Belay upended. They say he was down on the ground before the ball came out at about the 35-yard line. Oh, so close. Had that been ruled a fumble, Jeff, North Allegheny's Precise Cologne would have come away with it.
And the official made the call very quickly. Let's take a look at this. Belay getting to the outside, and he went into some friendly fire, but that is a good call by the official. Lost the ball after he already made contact with the ground. An uncharacteristic mistake on special teams for Pine Richland, but every once in a while you'll collide with somebody who's wearing the same jersey that you are, at least for Pine Richland. Don't lose the football.
And there was a flag on the field. We're getting our call now from Steve Dobis.
Mask on Pine Richland, 5 yards from the spot, first down.
So they're going to bring it back inside the 20-yard line because of that penalty. Time to take a look at tonight's IGS Energy starting lineups. For Pine Richland, it all starts with number 15, Phil Jerkovic, headed to Notre Dame next year. How good has he been since we saw them beat Central Catholic 4 weeks ago? Well, in the 3 games since, he's 38 of 43 passing the football. He's got 5 seniors to lead the way to throw the ball to. And don't forget about Jordan Crawford and Kenny White, the 2 running backs. Crawford had a 7-touchdown game when we saw these Rams on 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals at home against Central Catholic. But Kenny White has come back from injury since, and he's been the man carrying the football much of the last 3 weeks. So the ball just inside the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Starting 87 yards from the end zone, and Jurkovic on W&J College first down. This is Crawford. Jordan Crawford for about 10 yards, very close to the first down. It's Dylan Wald on the defensive line, made the tackle for the Tigers. He is the defensive tackle. We'll take a look at this defense here for North Allegheny. 3-4 alignment. And the big playmakers are the outside linebackers, Alex Hayes and Dante Caputo. Those are the 2 leading tacklers on the year. Joey Porter Jr. has 5 interceptions as a cornerback. He is the son of the Pittsburgh Steeler. It was a 1st and 10 for W&J College, and Jurkovic keeps it himself. 2 carries, 2 first downs, gain of 14 yards as Wall makes another tackle. W&J College 1st and 10.
Now for Phil Jurkovic, we mentioned it in the open that he is one of only 2 quarterbacks in WPIAL history to throw for 6,000 yards, but also to rush for 2,000 yards. He's picking up almost 8 yards a carry when he decides to tuck it and keep it. And at 6'5", 220 pounds, he's a tough man to bring down.
He has thrown 21 touchdown passes in his senior year against only 4 interceptions. You got the rushing numbers. He's rushed for 12 touchdowns, none in the last 4 weeks, though. Jordan Crawford is now replaced as the tailback by Kenny White. You see number 1 White, the West Allegheny transfer, who had missed 5 weeks after suffering a knee injury the first week of the year. W&J College first down from the 36-yard line. Jurkovic instructs his line. He's averaged 78% completions. Keeps it again off the right edge. First play that didn't pick up a first down, but it still gained 8 yards for this high-powered and very high-paced Pine Richland offense.
Yeah, they run a spread no-huddle offense, and I think that's the toughest part, besides all the playmakers, is keeping up with the pace that they run.
Kenny White on 2nd and 2, and he is into North Allegheny territory. Busting tackles, White. Clear sailing. Touchdown. Kenny White is in for the Point Park University score, 56 yards.
Well, not only is Pine Richland blessed with a lot of great playmakers, during the offseason they added a couple of key pieces, and from West Allegheny came this man, Kenny White. You see him burst through that hole. Couple of missed tackles, and that is something that North Allegheny knows they need to be good at, because White breaks it out, turns on the Jets, and he's in for the TD.
Kenny White with his 6th rushing touchdown in the last 4 weeks since he has come back from that knee injury. Vito Orsini adds the 7th point. And it's 7-0. Pine Richland doing what Pine Richland has done all year. Scoring quickly. Kenny White busting tackles. Kickoff is next here on 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
It's my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian.
See what you can accomplish at W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
The Toyota Truck Event is back and now includes favorite SUV models like RAV4 with fantastic savings all month long. Lease one now for just $199 a month. Or buy a RAV with 0% APR plus $1,000 finance cash. Or just take $2,500 cash back from Toyota. Don't miss the Toyota Truck and SUV event. Hurry, event ends October 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
How will you define success? Jumpstart your career with W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
The transfer, Kenny White, a 56-yard touchdown run, and it's an early lead for the visitors here at Newman Stadium at North Allegheny. 7-0. And now it'll be the first crack on offense for the Tigers. Here's your scoring summary, brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, treating, training, and inspiring athletes. It took them 4 plays. Jeff Arnold, 3 of them gained first downs and 87 yards after a kickoff penalty.
Very similar to what we saw in the Central Catholic game, that high-powered offense going to work. We also saw what Phil Jerkovic could do in the running game, keeping the ball himself a couple of times, showing that he was hard to bring down, and Kenny White certainly was running for the touchdown.
Jerkovic did not need to throw a pass. So now the kickoff from Orsini. To the far side, and from about the 15, this is going to come across the 20 from Luke Colella, and it'll be a W&J College first down for this offense. North Allegheny's really been moving it well with the senior quarterback Luke Truman. Last week, Truman rushed for 151 yards and 2 scores, but they put up 63 points on Hempfield. The offensive line has been boosted big time by Kenyon Tuman in their last 6 wins. He moved from tight end to the line. He's been a big part of it. Turner White, the senior tailback, leading running back over 750 yards, 11 touchdowns on the year. So that man, Truman, and number 42, the man in back of the eye, the 2 big yard gainers. Look out for number 7 as a wide receiver, John Varsdell. He has caught a touchdown in 5 straight weeks. Here's Turner White. And a good start for the Tigers as he gets up and out of bounds at the 39-yard line of W&J College. First down and a gain of 16.
Now this is the type of game that North Allegheny wants to play. Keep the ball on the ground and make some long drives happen.
The leading tacklers for the Pine Ridgeland defense come in the linebacking core with Tyler King and Anthony Sermonera. They are big playmakers. Coach Art Walker of North Allegheny pointed to each of them as being the keys, although up front, Tommy Camino has 10 tackles for loss as an end. Jordan Crawford, Thomas Burns, 2 shutdown corners. White, that time, for about 4. And he took a hard hit. There you see Kenny White. Rushed for the touchdown, now playing in the secondary. Sermonera is the one who laid the hit here, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. And you just mentioned Sermonera being one of the key pieces and delivered that hard blow. And what is one of the things Art Walker pointed out, the phenomenal tackling from Sermonera that makes him so good as a linebacker.
And White, the safety, is the one who first got a shoulder into Turner White, the 6-foot, 175-pound big back. Out of the eye, 2nd and 6. White for a 3rd straight time, and there's Mr. Sermonera. The ball comes free, but they say he was down. 3rd down coming up. That was only a gain of a couple. One of the things that you absolutely can not afford if you're trying to stay with Pine Ridgeland, Jeff, is putting the ball on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. You have to play pretty much a perfect game if you want to beat Pine Ridgeland, because they make plays themselves, and then they capitalize off of mistakes. And yeah, your observation is right. It looked like that ball might have come out, but instead ruled down.
It did. They must have ruled forward progress stop, because there's no part of the body from White that was on the ground when he fumbled. Truman is in trouble. Truman is down. Flag is on the field as the big defensive end, Tommy Camino, gets a big sack. Boy, they lost, 15 yards on the sack. 4th down pending this penalty. If it stands, that is the 8th sack of the year for Camino. Steve Dobis is our white hat referee from the Whippeal here tonight.
Five-yard face mask on Pine Ridgeland. 5 yards from the end of the run. Repeat 3rd down.
So they lose the 15 on the sack, but add 5 more, and it's 3rd down again.
Well, look at this penetration from Camino. One good block is set, but he's able to work his way out of the arms of Dylan Wall, one of the linemen, and then come in for the sack. I mean, the defensive line is so sharp, and look at that, just the strength that Camino possesses, slinging his man down.
This is 3rd and 11. Truman to the air and incomplete. Was trying to get it to his diving wide receiver, Corey Melzer, and it's going to be 4th down. There's a great look at the little grab of the face mask by Camino on Truman as you watch that replay. So you can see why they threw the flag, but in the end, it's still going to be a punt.
This isn't a bad throw. It's just slightly overthrown, but it's perfectly placed over the head of... And there, it looked to be Jared Marfisi, one of the linebackers, but a little bit short of the target, and forces the punt.
Luke Truman is also the punter in addition to being the quarterback for North Allegheny. It came after Truman, who booms one. Meckler at about the 25-yard line. Mark it at the 31, where they tackle Luke Meckler, the sophomore. So this time, it'll be Pine Richland needed to go 69 yards. We'll be back here on 22 The Point, Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Point Park University encourages students to be themselves, speak their minds, express their creativity. It's not about fitting in, it's about helping you stand out and be outstanding. Refreshingly different. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
The home at 200 Pine Street. The agent. The office. The agent out of the office. This is what you see. This is what you don't see. The hustle. The huddle. The drawing board. The shuffle. The open house. The bees buzzing. The buyer. The offer. The negotiation. The pit bull. The sigh of relief. The close. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
RE/MAX Select Realty. Doing more from for sale to sold. That's the sign of a RE/MAX agent.
The true value of a college education is only realized after you graduate. Point Park is an affordable private university that's big on a return for your investment. When you're prepared, success comes naturally. Surprisingly affordable. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
Pine Richland has the football back. We thought they'd be near the 30. There was a personal foul, however, against the Rams. Dead ball personal foul after the punt return, so they're going to be inside or right at about the 15-yard line to start their second possession. Josh Maurer and Jeff Arnold. Danielle Podlatsky is on the sideline. We thank you for being with us. Our final broadcast here on our 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy here for the year. Pine Richland, they have been a show offensively all year, led by the quarterback Jerkovic, who's going to work from the shotgun from the 15. W&J College, 1st and 10. First pass from Jerkovic, bobbled and dropped. DeFrancis, the senior and the leading target on the year. Dante Caputo, the linebacker, hit him, and it forced the bobble.
Well, I think if you ask DeFrancis, this is a ball that he should have caught. And not a whole lot of times where Jerkovic will throw and his passes will be incomplete. I mean, this is maybe the most ridiculous stat about Jerkovic. He's completing almost 80% of his passes this year.
And in a season where he's essentially just played the first half almost every week, he still averages 254 passing yards per game. To do that in 2 quarters is remarkable. They run the option, and this is Jordan Crawford. Tackled high and hard. No penalty flag. Canyon Tuman on the defensive line makes it 3rd down.
And then you toss it right back off to Jordan Crawford, and he's such a matchup problem because he can line up, he can run the football. I mean, when we saw him against Central Catholic, he ran for 7 touchdowns, and he'll speed rusher that if he gets in open space like Kenny White, you won't catch him.
Boy, that was a high, hard hit, but a legal one. 3rd down and 7. Crawford does not get the first down. It'll be 4th down. Alex Hayes, the outside linebacker, in on the tackle, and we'll see what Pine Richland does on 4th and 2.
Well, Ray Falcone was trying to block on the perimeter, and it looked like Crawford ran into his own men. You see a little bit of contact there with Crawford, and then you also had Hayes coming up to make the play.
You saw the ball come out, but he was on the ground, and they will punt. Cam Belay is punting for just the 5th time all season. That's a big win for the North Allegheny defense. They come after Belay, just gets one away, and he gets a friendly bounce here on the visiting field. What a punt by Belay. That rolls dead at the 31-yard line. So it'll be North Allegheny getting the football back. Relive their past from the luxury of our present, the Goldbergs. Weeknights at 6 and 7 right here on 22 The Point. Boy, it's a game of inches sometimes, Jeff. If that punt gets blocked, what field position that the Tigers would have. Instead, Belay gets the punt away, and what a roll he got, too.
They did. Now, the last time we saw North Allegheny with the football, they were able to run it pretty effectively. Let's see if they decide to mix in some of the pass as well and try and keep Pine Richland honest.
Truman to White, and a penalty flag had stopped the play before it ever started.
Dead ball foul, encroachment. Pine Richland, 5 yards, first down.
I've already seen a number of penalties so far against Pine Richland, and talk about trying to make sure you keep things in a spot where you're not making a ton of mistakes. 4 penalties already for Pine Richland for 30 yards.
Move it out to the 36. Obviously, Coach Kasparovich will not be happy about those 4 early penalties. Luke Truman, the leading rusher on the year as the quarterback for the Tigers. And here's the pitch. They get John Varsdell, the wide receiver, involved in the ground game. That's a gain of 12 and a W&J College first down. He's tackled by the strong safety, Luke Meckler.
Well, you know, Art Walker wants to keep Pine Richland guessing. And here you motion Varsdell, one of your best athletes over there. Gets downhill, running powerfully, and picks up the first down as North Allegheny continues to go to the ground game.
Right near midfield. W&J College first and 10. On a pitch, it's White. Good blocking out in front as he crosses into Rams territory. Well, you got bodies flying all over the field here in the first quarter. Meckler, another stop. It'll be second down and short.
They see the toss right here to White. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry and got it quickly. And North Allegheny running some different formations, trying to get Pine Richland uncomfortable. And now they find themselves in a good spot on second down. That's a way that you beat Pine Richland. Make sure you're staying on schedule.
2nd and 2. Maybe 3, I beg your pardon, at the 46. Truman wants to put it in the air. And the receiver broke off the route. He was lucky that wasn't an interception. Stopping was Joey Porter Jr. And yes, Joey Porter Jr. is the son of the old Steelers linebacker turned coach. A lot of speed for number 9.
And there are a lot of connections on the North Allegheny team to the Steelers. With Cade Hoke, he's the son of former Steelers defensive lineman Chris Hoke. Canyon Tuman, the son of former tight end Jeremy Tuman, and then Ken Gilden, the son of former Steelers linebacker Jason. You already mentioned Joey, so kind of a nice little thing to have, and a lot of players that know how to play the game.
Third down needing 3, and White cannot get there. Only a yard for Turner White. Jared Marfisi made the stop, and it's 4th and 2 and a decision for Art Walker Jr.
You expect the linebackers to be very active, especially in these short yardage situations, and you see Marfisi, the first man on the hit. The linebackers, they are really the heart and soul of the defense for Pine Richland. And you want to talk about a big reason why the Rams are 9-0? It starts with the defense, and in particular, that linebacking core.
Well, they're going to punt. 4th down and maybe along 1, but on to kick it is Truman. At least that's the way they're lining up. And the punt is away. Fair catch for Meckler inside the 10. Good punt. Playing a game of field position. And backed up are the Rams. We'll be back on 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Live, love, get sauced.
If you need a new roof, you need a local company you can totally trust with the job. That company is EAS Roofing, the Pittsburgh roofer. EAS Roofing is more than just a couple of guys with a truck. They're professional roofers who are trained, certified, and equipped to install your new roof with no surprises. And using the exclusive equipter, your landscaping is totally protected. Shop their showroom on Route 8 or they'll come to you. And ask about financing as low as $99 a month. Call 412-781-ROOF or visit their website today. EAS Roofing, the Pittsburgh roofer.
Pine Richland with the 7-point lead and the football, but at the 5-yard line, the Rams will start it. About 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Turning on lights, taking showers, and doing laundry all put stress in your home's most important parts. And failures due to normal wear and tear can cost you. Protect your budget from the unexpected with a home warranty product from IGS Home Warranty. Head over to IGSenergy.com for more information. On W&J College first down, that's going to be about no gain for Crawford. Brennan McCauley on the defensive line, one of the 3 linemen to go along with the 4 linebackers. Jordan Crawford is an unbelievable man at finding the end zone. The last 3 weeks, he had 9 carries, and 6 of them were touchdowns. That's a ratio you'll take. 2nd and 10, they'll try him again. Room for Crawford. And now watch the speed, Jordan Crawford. Crawford still going, 95 yards. It's a Point Park University touchdown, electric. They don't get much faster than this, Jeff, in the open field.
And look at that huge hole from the offensive line, creating it off the right side. And then Jordan Crawford, the speed is so much fun to watch. You see that beautiful little move that allowed him to shake off Nico Rankin, and then it was all green in front of him. Jordan Crawford, he'll certainly play at the next level. We've seen 2 of the best in the WPIAL in terms of rushing. Jordan Crawford, Kenny White, both with rushing TDs, and Pine Richland leading 13-0.
Vito Orsini, senior place kicker, splits those uprights. We talked about it earlier. We saw that man, Jordan Crawford, here on Friday Night Rivals 4 weeks ago, have a 7-touchdown first half. 6 on the ground, 1 receiving.
It's nuts. I mean, he this year has done things that I think you would struggle to do in video games. And consider this for a second. Kenny White transfers from West Allegheny. The one thing that Eric Kasparovich really appreciated was the way that Crawford handled the news that someone else was coming into the fold. I mean, you think you're going to be the main guy. And, you know, for Crawford and White, you know, they have both understood that they're each integral parts of the team. Crawford has been deadly on the ground and has established himself as one of the best running backs and athletes, I would say, probably in the WPIAL. And you take him and White and then all the pieces with Jerkovic as your quarterback and that great defense, it's going to be a very tough team to stop in the WPIAL playoffs.
You can see on our UPMC drive summary, 2 plays. Each of them were handoffs to Jordan Crawford, the senior 5'8", 175-pounder. First one gained 0. The second one gained 95. And here you are, if you're Art Walker, the head coach of North Allegheny. You punt, you pin Pine Richland at the 5-yard line. You're feeling good. But it just takes that one play from the explosive running back to get you out of the hole.
And exactly. It doesn't really matter if they have their back against the wall. They almost like it when they get those types of opportunities where they get pushed. And it's not very often where you can have some of the electrifying athletes that Pine Richland does that can enable you to just have one huge play and then get into the end zone.
Orsini kicks it off to Precise Cologne. Cologne brought one back for a touchdown, the sophomore did last week against Enfield. Sermonera made the tackle on the speedy little guy, Precise Cologne, all 5 feet 4 inches of him. W&J College first down for North Allegheny.
This is the other thing to remember about North Allegheny. This is a very good defense. They're giving up a little bit more than 16 points a game, and 14 points is all they allowed against Seneca Valley, 16 to Penn Hills. And 7 points to Butler, 7 points to Shaler, and a big part of what has allowed the Tigers to shake off those 2 early season losses to Bethel Park and Central Catholic has been the great defensive play. But so far, they've learned that Pine Richland, team to be reckoned with.
W&J College 1st and 10. Possession number 3 here for the Tigers. Starts at the 28-yard line, and it starts with a penalty flag.
Timeout. Pine Richland. That's their first charge time.
No penalty. Instead, the timeout was taken defensively by the Rams. Folks, be a president at Washington and Jefferson College. Washington and Jefferson College. Learn more at washjeff.edu. College football fans traveling to Western Pennsylvania, stay at the award-winning Courtyard by Marriott at Cranberry Woods. Have fun at the fitness center, enjoy the bistro restaurant, and go out in the Courtyard with a fire pit. Free high-speed internet. The place for your next business meeting or special occasion is the Courtyard by Marriott at Cranberry Woods, the official lodging partner of the Sports Fever Television Network. Make your reservation 724-776-1900 or online at Marriott.com. Pink pom-poms, you see the color pink all throughout the month of October. Breast cancer awareness, you see it at the professional ranks, you see it at the college ranks, and here at high school as well.
Even the officials, they have pink whistles that they're sporting tonight.
So after the timeout, 1st and 10, and Truman throwing off his back foot, got his tight end wide open, McCauley. Brennan McCauley is into Rams territory. And that was a great throw by Luke Truman.
And Meckler comes in to make a touchdown-saving tackle. Now, Truman, known for his legs, but he has got some good touch in the football. And we see the nice little drop in the bucket to McCauley, his 7th catch of the year. That's his first catch in the last 3 weeks.
27 yards. So right back come the Tigers. W&J College 1st down. White shifts into the backfield, but instead they get a little tricky and hand it off to Ben Mainza for about 3. Thomas Burns, the great speedy corner, younger brother of Artie Burns from the Steelers, made the tackle. And Art Walker doesn't like the fact that there was a penalty flag thrown. You can tell it's against North Allegheny.
Illegal shift, North Allegheny. All players were not set whenever the player went in motion. First time.
I'm going to go back to Thomas Burns. You mentioned that he's the younger brother of Artie. It'd be exciting to see what his future has in store for him, because besides being recruited to play major college football and being a lockdown secondary man, he is somebody that we very well could see in the Olympics in the near future.
He is that good and that fast on the track. Tried to hand it off here. They were trying to get it to White. Let's see if Truman got it back. He did. And fortunate to do so with Peyton Bird from Pine Richland bearing in on that fumble.
We talked about having the need to make sure you don't make too many mistakes, and just a little issue is thinking about handing it off. Truman loses the football. You mentioned Bird was right on the scene as well, but fortunately Truman keeps it for the Tigers.
Yeah, he was trying to keep it, and Turner White almost knocked it. In fact, did knock it out of his hands. 2nd and long, and that time McCauley cannot hold on. Senior tight end Brennan McCauley, big part of the offense as a blocker and sometimes as a pass catcher.
Another one of those instances where I think if you ask McCauley, the pass was a little bit behind him, but I think it's one that he'd tell you that he should caught. See Art Walker over on the sidelines. Of course, his dad, Art Walker Sr., Hall of Fame coach, 6 WPIAL titles, including 5 when he was at Mount Lebanon.
3rd and very long. And Truman will operate from the shotgun here for North Allegheny. Pressure's coming. Great move by Truman. Truman is close. I think he's a yard short of the 1st down. That's a gain of 16 to make it 4th and 1. Jeff, how did he escape that pressure?
I think it's just his incredible quickness. And you see pressure coming from both corners. He steps up in the pocket, and then he goes one-on-one here against Burns, manages to get by him. Sermonera was the one that eventually made the tackle, but you're seeing the athleticism of Luke Truman, another one of those dual-threat quarterbacks, and we're seeing more and more of those guys in the football game today.
4th and 1. Last 4th and 1, North Allegheny punted. This time they go, and they convert, and more. Truman inside the 10-yard line. Luke Meckler saved the touchdown. It's about a 28-yard run into the Beano's red zone.
I'll tell you something. Luke Meckler has been all over the field in this first quarter. Snap, you only need a yard, so not really that surprise that Truman keeps it. And if Meckler doesn't come in and make that tackle, then Truman rushes for his 7th touchdown of the year.
1st and goal, a W&J College first down. 2 big runs by Truman. He'll try it a 3rd time. Spinning down to about the 2. You can see why he averages 8 yards a carry this year as a quarterback.
I mean, it's unbelievable. He very well could be a running back the way that he takes the snap and, you know, able to dance his way around one tackle. I mean, he could have taken a hit at the line of scrimmage and have been taken down, but another quick move that allowed him to spring free. And now North Allegheny finds themselves right on the doorstep.
What a response after they just saw Crawford bust one for 95 yards. 2nd and goal. Truman has the edge. Touchdown, Tigers. It's a Point Park University score for that man, Luke Truman. And he earned it on that drive.
Yeah, Luke Truman took over the offense. He uses his legs, stuck in a really challenging spot. You get a near first down, you're able to convert, and then Truman just keeping it himself to get the last little bit of yards that he needs to get North Allegheny on the board.
Junior Dom Phalo on for the extra point, but first a penalty flag.
Prior to the snap, false start. North Allegheny, 5 yards. Still try for point.
Make it a 25-yard extra point now. Phalo, 34 of 38 converting PATs on the season. And these are big. And hit is perfect. 14-7. What a response for North Allegheny.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Tigers. And it's all about the running game. You're able to eat some clock up. Luke Truman takes control. And these are 2 quarterbacks that are fun to watch because they can do a bit of everything. And for Jerkovic, number 5 dual threat quarterback in the country going to Notre Dame. And then for Truman, maybe hasn't started quite as long as Jerkovic has, but he has a skill set which is also super fun to watch. And being able to see him extend plays, I mean, we saw that one where you're stuck in a bad down and distance. You have pressure coming from both corners. Truman, the ability to step up, go one-on-one against Burns, spring free, almost get the first down, and then you take control of the drive from there. And that is what the Tigers will need tonight if they want to beat Pine Richland.
I think that was the big play on the drive. I know the 4th down run went almost 30 yards, but the one that preceded it on 3rd and 17 came on that great move by Truman that you alluded. That was, by the way, his 7th rushing touchdown. Drive summary brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, treating, training, and inspiring athletes. 72 yards, and Truman did just about all the work. 7 plays in about 3.5 minutes. Dom Phalo to kick it deep. Belay from the 10-yard line. Senior, he's a big play threat. Cam Belay does not reach the 20. Jacob Sarabi made sure he did not with a perfect tackle around the legs.
And now you got to make sure you get your defense started, because as we saw the last time, it doesn't necessarily matter if you're able to pin Pine Richland back pretty deep. Sarabi trying to take down Belay, another one of those great athletes for Pine Richland. Good form tackling, going low, and denying him the 20-yard line. But now if you're the Tigers, got to get that defense in order, and you got to keep up with the pace that Pine Richland is throwing at you. So far, they've done most of the work on the ground.
From the 19, W&J College first down. Jurkovic airborne. Ball is out. Now you see the official point to the ground. No fumble was the signal. Boy, Jeff, it looked like that might have come out.
I think it did, Josh. And let's take a look at Jurkovic. That's out. That is out. Augustine was the one that tackled Jurkovic.
Meanwhile, they snap it on 2nd and 8, and Jordan Crawford through the middle to move the chains.
I've seen both teams be sort of careless with the football so far. In all instances, the person has been ruled down by contact, but scary moment for Pine Richland.
Look how quickly they get to the ball to snap it. W&J College 1st and 10. Jurkovic zigging and zagging. That's an illegal block, and this is coming back, but what a run anyway. Jurkovic, highlight reel stuff, but the penalty flags are all over the field back at his own 35-yard line.
Josh, this is the definition of a blindside hit by DeFrancis. And the man he hit, as we take a look, see DeFrancis is on the perimeter, and boom, mouthpiece comes flying out, and everything sprung Jurkovic loose. Very easy call.
One more time. Case Vanderzee never saw Jason DeFrancis. Because there was a penalty with no time remaining on the first quarter clock, it'll be an untimed down for Pine Richland on 1st and 25. You know, you lose not only a 65-yard touchdown run for Jurkovic, but you also lose the penalty yardage. Well, you see the down and distance at the bottom right of your screen. Long way to go, but for this Pine Richland offense, who knows, may not be an issue. Kenny White has checked in as the running back. And here is White. Look at him shift and gets the outside. White into the clear again. And as the first quarter ends, Pine Richland is on the move thanks to White's second big run of the game. We've got a fun one tonight. This is how he started it, Kenny White. 14-7, the Rams. You don't want to go anywhere here on 22 The Points. Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Heads up. Hey, nice catch.
Thanks.
Welcome to W&J. Where are you headed?
I'm trying to find my class.
Acceptance goes beyond the letter. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu. Roxanne can, and so can you. If you're a high school senior looking for a career, then consider one with unlimited earning potential. Roxanne Agostinelli at Keller Williams can help you unlock your potential through a targeted training program with one of the leading real estate firms in the nation, Keller Williams. All you need to do is get in touch, and Roxanne and her training team will do the rest. Go online right now to roxannecan.com/kickoff and get ready to kick off your career in real estate and score big.
Your internet deserves the 100% fiber optic network. It's your last chance to get Fios 150 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds and TV and phone for $79.99 a month online for the first year. Plus, your choice of HBO or multi-room DVR service included for 2 years, all with a 2-year agreement. And Verizon Wireless customers can stream TV on the Fios mobile app, data-free. Hurry and switch now. This offer ends November 4th. Go to getfios.com.
It's my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian.
See what you can accomplish at W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Saturday on Fox, Saquon Barkley leads Penn State against Ohio State.
Saturday at 3 on Fox 53.
Weeknights on 22 The Point. We're going back to the future when a modern family welcomes an 80s family. Meet the world's best smother in The Goldbergs at 6. Then don't miss the coolest dad on TV in Modern Family at 6:30. Weeknights on 22 The Point.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. After one quarter, Pine Richland leads North Allegheny 14-7. I'm Danielle Pulaski, joined now by Pine Richland Athletic Director Josh Shoup. Now, Josh, how does playing on Friday Night Rivals impact your student athletes?
Yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity to not only showcase our outstanding football program, coaches and student athletes, but our cheerleaders, our marching band. It's a community event, and we're very proud, and happy to be here.
And what makes Pine Richland such a special school?
It is the community, and it's the student athletes. It's the students in the school. Everybody rallies around all of our sports teams, which have had tremendous success this fall. So it's just a special place because of the people that are in it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Josh.
Thank you, Danielle. It's going to be Pine Richland in possession as we start the second quarter with a 14-7 lead. And a dollar bank first down for Phil Jerkovic. Remember, they had that long touchdown run for the quarterback, taken away by a blocking penalty and a personal foul. And on 1st and 25, this man, Kenny White, moved the chains. This time he gets just 4 yards. Kenny White helped West Allegheny and longtime head coach Bob Palko win the Whippeal at the 5A classification last year. Transferred, at first was not ruled eligible, but it was in the summer, finally, that the league got together and said he was going to be able to play this year here at his new school.
Exactly. You add Kenny White, and then probably more notably in the secondary, you add Thomas Burns, too. He comes up from Florida. We mentioned he's the brother of Artie Burns, and so you get one big playmaker on offense in White, and then you get a big playmaker in defense, plus all the veterans you already have on your roster.
Well, after no gain now, it's 3rd down and 5. White, a 56-yard touchdown to open the scoring. Then Jordan Crawford, who has checked in now. He had a 95-yard run. Crawford again, and he won't get there. Canyon Tuman was there to eat him up, and it's 4th and 4.
What they'll typically do is they'll give Jerkovic a couple of different play options, and then right as they came to the line, they decided to call something a little bit different. You hand the ball off, you're hopeful things work out, but it doesn't, and now stuck in no man's land. Jerkovic will try and get the yards for the first down.
This is 4th and 4. Jerkovic in trouble. If the ball came out, it might be a fumble recovery, and that's the signal. So it's not a turnover on downs, it's a turnover. Derek Devine, the senior, man in the middle of the defensive line for the Tigers, ripped it away from Jerkovic.
I mean, like Truman, Jerkovic has the ability when you just need a couple of yards to run for it himself. But in this instance, he ran into his center, Mike Durundo, ends up losing the football, and the Tigers get a critical stop. You get the offense back on the field. A chance for a momentum swing as the Tigers scored in their last drive. And let's see how Truman decides to use his legs, and maybe it can lead North Allegheny into the end zone again.
From their 40 on a dollar bank first down, and Turner White took a hard hit from Kenny White. You know, Jeff, if you go back earlier that drive, remember it looked like Jerkovic fumbled, but it wasn't ruled as such? Maybe poetic justice at the end of it, he does lose a fumble.
And overall, it's been kind of sloppy first half. Rams lose the football. They've put it on the ground a couple times, and they've committed 5 penalties so far for 45 yards.
Truman dancing away from Camino, and the pass is incomplete. Trying to find his fullback, Ryan Langdon. 3rd and 7.
I think for some things to open up for the Tigers, Truman needs to find a way to complete some of these intermediate passes. Now, it's challenging when Camino is running after you and you're rolling out of the pocket, but still, you need to find a way to get some of these connections going and avoid these 3rd down and 7 situations where you can see Pine Richland bringing some pressure.
On the long touchdown drive, last possession, Truman often able to do it with his legs. Now trying to do it with his arm, and he does move the chains. Sam Humes, the tight end, with a catch and a Dollar Bank first down. Humes and McCauley, the 2 tight ends, Jeff, they've been a big part of the passing game.
Yeah, exactly, and you'll see North Allegheny line up multiple tight ends. It's been part of this Art Walker offense and something that you have to prepare for when you see the Tigers and complete that pass underneath and you keep things going.
A converted quarterback, Humes. 6th reception of the year. He averages almost 30 yards a catch on the first 5. This is a pitch. Turner White's in trouble. Lost about a half a yard to Turner White on Dollar Bank 1st and 10. Peyton Bird, defensive end, made the play for Pine Richland.
You see Art Walker calling out the charges to his team. This is a North Allegheny team. 4 returners on offense, 4 returners on defense. You lose a couple key pieces from last year's team, including your starting quarterback. So you've had to figure some things out. But lately, North Allegheny has been able to.
Truman on a pitch. Turner White caught it in traffic and gained about 3. Somehow. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and that could have been a disaster. And it also looked like on the last play that there was a lack of execution and the timing wasn't quite right. And, luckily he got his head turned around in time because he got hit almost as soon as he caught the pitch.
But they just converted 3rd and 7 on the pass to Humes. Now this is 3rd down and 8. Pine Richland leads by only 7. Just over 3 minutes into the second quarter. Truman through the middle. He's about a yard short. 4th and 1 coming up. And again, the safety, Kenny White, was in the middle of the tackle. You know that they're going to go for it here, right?
Yeah, you would imagine that they would. And Truman in this spot, he's trying to use Dylan Wall as a wall almost, trying to plow his way along and just following Wall, the 230-pound senior, almost picked up the first down. And you would imagine Truman keeps it here to try and move the sticks.
He's done it before. Needs only about a half a yard, and they jump. And now it's 4th and 6. McCauley, the tight end.
Prior to the snap, false start, North Allegheny. 5 yards, still 4th down.
Well, you know that if it's going to be a run by the quarterback, the lineman just trying to get a little edge on the block, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You're just trying to get a little bit of an extra surge. You have the heavy package in if you're the Tigers, knowing that you're just trying to pick up that yard, but force backwards. You find yourself in a different spot.
And I don't know how much this changes the play call here for Coach Walker. Maybe Truman just runs it anyway. More than capable of gaining 6.
Or he could just pooch kick it.
That's what he did. And there's nobody back to return it. Can they down the football? Oh, yes, they can at the 1-yard line. Joey Porter Jr. I guess there's a nice little added bonus of having your quarterback also be the punter. 99 yards from the end zone. Pine Richland. 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
We're America's largest independent mutual bank. Without shareholders, we're able to think differently about the banking options we offer, the way we do business, the support we provide to the communities we serve. Experience the difference mutuality makes for Dollar Bank customers and our region. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired.
What makes Rosedale a different kind of college?
I graduated from the Industrial Tech program at Rosedale in November of 2016. I help maintain 7 miles of conveyors, and if the system doesn't run, then nobody else has a job. Nobody really acknowledged the fact that I was a female. They just, are you a good worker? Can you do this and can you do that? Not really what gender I am. Rosedale's a different kind of college because of the atmosphere. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I've never heard of a program like that before.
Visit us at rosedaletech.org.
Stay tuned for our halftime report. We're going to have an interview with Dennis Wilkie, president of Rosedale Technical College. Also, we'll have highlights of the first half and the very best of Thursday and Friday nights from around the country. That and more coming up on our halftime report. Oh, so close to the goal line here for Jurkovic and the Pine Richland offense.
Well, Truman, you have to remember that a year ago he was doing the punting, and that was the way that he got onto the field. Becomes the quarterback this year, but he still remains one of the best punters in the Whippeal.
Crawford, and not much. Maybe 2 yards for Jordan Crawford on Dollar Bank first down. Coming up tomorrow at noon, Cal, Pennsylvania at Edinburgh. Coming up in a big one that's going to be brought to you by next Saturday, I beg your pardon. That's coming up on November the 4th. Cal and Edinburgh. Jurkovic is short of the first down. He did gain 7, so it's going to be about 3rd and 1.
And that game could very well have some implications because Cal and Edinburgh both having very good seasons. Then the week after, you'll have the PSAC championship game.
And Jurkovic lost it again. North Allegheny unable to recover. Now let's see where the football is going to be spotted. And he gained a first down out of that. Wow, what a break for the Rams.
Yeah, what a break. I mean, they have given away 1 as we take a look at this fumble. Jurkovic, he had it and he just dropped it.
Whistle on the field and a timeout taken by North Allegheny before Dollar Bank first down. Wow, what a turning point potentially. Back after this on 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Shaped by the energy and opportunity of downtown Pittsburgh, the Point Park University experience is unlike any other. It's a more active, more engaged, more professional education. Ideally located, that's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
If you need a new roof, you need a local company you can totally trust with the job. That company is EAS Roofing, the Pittsburgh roofer. EAS Roofing is more than just a couple of guys with a truck. They're professional roofers who are trained, certified, and equipped to install your new roof with no surprises. And using the exclusive Equipter, your landscaping is totally protected. Shop their showroom on Route 8 or they'll come to you. And ask about financing as low as $99 a month. Call 412-781-ROOF or visit their website today. EAS Roofing, the Pittsburgh roofer.
You choose 4 years of talking about the real world or 4 years immersed in it. After a hands-on, career-focused education, Point Park University graduates enter the workforce prepared to succeed, professionally designed. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
You think you know who's going to win this game? Go to 22 The Point on Facebook or Twitter and vote in the Point Park University Poll of the Week. We'll keep you updated throughout. Pine Richland holding on to a lead. In fact, some distance put in the poll from when we kicked it off till now. Pine Richland leads 14-7. Boy, they almost lost the fumble near the end zone. Somehow recovered, and on 3rd and short, they got the yardage needed for a Dollar Bank first down. Jurkovic, at least 3 times, Jeff, we've seen him fumble the football.
He's lost it only once. Probably should have been twice, though.
Outside at about the 20-yard line goes to Francis. Luke Colella is able to push him out of bounds, and that's the leading receiver on the year. Jason DeFrancis caught 3 touchdowns last week. Their blowout win at home against Butler. 2nd down and 2. Kenny White, and he's got daylight. Breakaway speed. Penalty flag flies. Kenny White is in the end zone. 80 yards. They have busted some big big-time runs here in the first half. Will this stand? It is almost breathtaking, the breakaway speed for both White and Jordan Crawford when they get in the open field. Well, you can see Ray Falcone, the wide receiver, he thinks this is going to be a touchdown. And now the verdict.
We have a sideline warning on Pine Richland. The touchdown is good.
It is 6. Kenny White with a Point Park University touchdown.
Well, we see Jordan Crawford take one in from 95 yards away, and you're right on point, Josh, with the breakaway speed of White and Crawford. It's almost like you're watching two track stars out there, and you see White with that incredible speed. He had the daylight in front of him. You have a 20-7 lead right now of the Rams. It may not feel like you have a couple of touchdowns of a lead, but you'll take some of the big plays to give you the advantage that you have.
While you watched White break away, the extra point from Orsini was good. 21-7 for that man's team. Coach Kasparovich on 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue with available automatic emergency braking that could help stop for you. And motion-activated liftgate. You still got some tricks left in you. Take on today the Nissan Rogue family. Lease today, starting at just $159 per month, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 12 models.
What makes Rosedale a different kind of college?
My responsibilities revolve around training technicians from Seattle to New York City. The most unique aspect is being able to train the trainer, and that's what I love most about my job. The demand that industry has for good employees, there's no better place than Rosedale. I couldn't have imagined how Rosedale had prepared me for the future that I'm in now.
Visit us at rosedaletech.org.
He's got my vote.
At the end of tonight's broadcast, we'll be selecting the IGS Energy Player of the Game, and could it be that man, Kenny White? He has scored from 56, and now he adds one from 81 yards.
He certainly has my vote. Up to 7 touchdowns on the year. You know, he missed some time on account of injury, but you know, White, he is a wanted man. He has gotten offers from Iowa State, Eastern Michigan, Howard, Kent State. A lot of teams want him.
Drive Summary is brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, treating, training, and inspiring athletes. They've had a 95-yard scoring drive. They now had a 99-yard journey. White with the final 81 of those. And you know, I'm watching him run away from all the defenders en route to the end zone, Jeff, and it looks like Secretariat pulling away from the field back in his Triple Crown races. Orsini kicks one deep and into the end zone this time. A chance to run that one out for John Varsdell.
We asked Eric Kasparovich earlier in the week, where does this team rank? And he said it's the best one that he's ever coached. You know, the 2014 team was certainly a special one, but there are some years where you're just given playmakers that you're not going to get every year, that they come around once in a career, maybe twice if you're very lucky. And Eric Kasparovich, you see right there, certainly appreciates all the weapons that he has as he tries to win his first PIAA state title.
Go to afreserve.com or call 800-257-1212 for more information on how you can start your adventure with the Air Force Reserve. Dollar Bank 1st and 10. After the touchback, ball is at the 20-yard line, and Luke Truman trying to respond. Varsdell on the sweep did well just to get back near the line of scrimmage. And Kenny White, not only can he carry the ball, he can be a terrific free safety.
Well, coming right into your living room Barsdale taking it off the jet action. Was hopeful to pick up some kind of a blocker, but Kenny White got to the scene very quickly. Some extra help comes in after that as well.
I don't think you'll find a faster secondary than what Pine Richland has, with White as the safety and then Jordan Crawford and Thomas Burns at the corners. 2nd and 10. Truman, good pump fake. Now he will run, and he gets some good yardage, maybe 6. Anthony Sermonara got him out, and it's 3rd and short.
I mean, Eric Kasparovich has said that Thomas Burns is the fastest player that he has ever seen, and Kenny White certainly has to be in that list as well. And, you know, secondary that can lock you down, a defensive line that has some players that will be coming back next year, and the linebackers, the heart and soul of the defense.
3rd down 3, and Truman fighting. Didn't get there. 4th down. It's going to be 4th and about a yard. Well, they punted on a couple of 4th and shorts. I wonder what, now trailing by 14 points, Coach Walker's going to decide to do here.
And Truman, again, trying to follow the offensive line, see if they can maybe create that extra surge for him to get past the sticks. But in that spot with Pine Richland stacking up the box, couldn't do it, and Truman stays on the field to punt.
Just not wanting to risk it, turning a ball over on downs deep in your own territory. Truman has been terrific booting the football here. Meckler on the return, and he gains nothing. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And so that's where Pine Richland will get it back with about 5 minutes to go in the half. Time now for our EAS Roofing Fans of the Game. Taking a look at some of the students from North Allegheny here at Newman Stadium. The Fans of the Game brought to you by EAS, the easy choice for roofing. You can call them at 412-781-ROOF. Our EAS Fan Cam on a senior night here. It's a gorgeous night. Would you believe it's almost Halloween? But when we kicked it off, it was almost 70 degrees.
We're right in the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold. Just on target for a late October night in North Allegheny.
Tell you what, starting at the 33, this is actually qualifying as great field position by Pine Richland standards tonight. Crawford gains 3 hard yards on Dollar Bank 1st down. Ethan Augustine in there to make the tackle. I'll again recap. These have been the touchdowns. A 56-yard run by White, a 95-yard run by Crawford, and then 81 more for White last possession for good measure. It's like the World Series. They're scoring by hitting home runs. Oh, and that ball through the hands and almost intercepted. Crawford almost gift-wrapped it for the safety, Luke Colella. And he knows he had one.
And this was almost Colella's 3rd interception of the year. Jerkovic, we've seen some drops, too, from some members of the receiving corps. And on the tip drill, Colella almost was able to corral it, but hit the turf. A chance that he wants back.
That was pretty much gift-wrapped for him by Jordan Crawford. 3rd and 7. Jerkovic from the gun. Gets through the tackle, and he's got a big 1st down run. Jerkovic still on his feet, but he did step out of bounds. He's seen Truman do that time and again. There is a flag back near the line of scrimmage. So now Jerkovic plays the role of escapism. It's coming back.
Now let's see if we can identify this personal foul. Jerkovic back to throw. And then steps up, gets out of bounds. But the personal foul penalty, and oh, see, there it is, right there. And it was Ray Falcone. It is called for the personal foul. It wipes it all away.
And he didn't need to do that. Jerkovic was 30 yards past him down the field.
Personal foul, Pine Richland, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat third down.
And that's a surprising mistake from Falcone, a senior leader on the team going to Lehigh next year. And you're exactly right. What's the point in doing that? You've already picked up the first down at that point.
It's going to be about a 25-yard run for Jurkovic, and instead you lose the 15 from the spot of the foul, which, as you saw on your screen, was back at the line of scrimmage.
And we go back to the penalties. We have seen a variety of personal foul calls so far, and make it another penalty for a false start against Pine Richland.
Ben Yoakum got a running start, but nobody snapped the football. It's third down and 19 after the penalty yardage was marked off, and now apparently they didn't throw a flag on Yoakum.
I'm wondering if, I guess the ball was not ready for play. That's the only thing I can imagine there.
Ball back to the 25-yard line. Line to gain the 43. Third and long. To the air, Jurkovic. Belay has it go off his hands. Tell you what, that was a good pass. Cam Belay could not hold on with the corner. Corey Melzer there.
It'll show up as a number of incompletions for Jurkovic in the first half, but that's a ball that Belay, once again, I think if you asked him, he would tell you that he should have caught. One-on-one coverage, Jurkovic, seems like he dropped this one in the bucket. Throws like this have been Jurkovic's calling card all year, but it's a drop and a punt.
Jurkovic is only 1 out of 5 through the air. This is the second punt of the half for Cam Belay, and a whistle.
Timeout.
Timeout.
North Allegheny.
They'll have one left for head coach Walker. Modern Family has moved, folks. Kind of. Now you can find the Pritchett's, the Dunphys, and the Tuckers at 6:30 and 7:30 weeknights right here on 22 The Point. Award-winning Modern Family right here. Okay, so it's going to be a punt, it appears. It's 4th and 18.
Well, think about this, Josh. 1 of 5 for Jurkovic so far. But how many of those passes should have been caught? That's the other thing. A number of them have been drops from members of the Rams receiving corps. We saw Belay with the latest one. Had to jump up a little bit, but still a ball that Jurkovic put essentially where it needs to be. And so he hasn't been helped out. It's been a tough half for Jurkovic, where hasn't gotten his receivers to make some catches, has put the ball on the ground a couple of times, has lost it once, should have lost it a second time, but still Pine Richland with some big plays has the lead.
Belay coming in through 9 games, had punted 4 times all year. This will be his second punt of the half. 4th and long. And Varsdell calls fair catch at about his 46-yard line. So North Allegheny gets it back, trailing 21-7. Follow 22 The Point on Facebook and Twitter to get closer to the Friday night Rivals action. Get game updates, exclusive behind-the-scenes posts, and get involved with the conversation. Just use the hashtag Friday Night Rivals PGH. Get involved on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Get everything you want in a checking account, plus a special offer at Dollar Bank. Visit dollar.bank/200. Speaking of that, Dollar Bank 1st and 10 at the 46. Truman pitches it to Turner White. Nope, beg your pardon. That's Mayenza. To about the 47 and a gain of 7. He backs up Turner White. Does the junior Ben Mayenza.
This was a great block on the perimeter and then hard running, and allows for a gain of 7 yards. Productive first down carry.
North Allegheny has gone for much of this half toe-to-toe with the #1 team in the Whippeal. And another pitch play, and again it's Mayenza to the 33-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain. Luke Meckler makes another tackle on a Dollar Bank first down.
North Allegheny, again, a great block on the perimeter by a member of your receiving corps. That creates the extra hole for Anza that he's looking for. Averaging your 7 yards a carry, and North Allegheny trying to eat up as much of this second quarter clock as possible.
Another toss play. And again, Mayenza that time gains about 4. Tyler King leads the Rams defense in tacklers. Over 70 of them coming into the week, and he got that stop there.
Such a physical player, and we mentioned Tyler King and Sermonera, the leaders of the Pine Richland defense. And that King and Sermonera, they will be around the football, especially when you see the runs, and the linebackers know how to step up on the Pine Richland team.
Now Turner White motions back into the backfield, but they hand it to the fullback, Langdon, instead. Like a bull in a china shop, he gains 4 yards. 3rd and short. When you got a fullback who's normally doing all the dirty work, doing the blocking for the tailbacks, Jeff, it's a nice idea every once in a while to feed him the pigskin.
Yeah, exactly, and show a little bit of a different look if you're North Allegheny. And how many different players have carried the ball this year for the Tigers? They have so many different people that they can turn to, and then with the jet stuff that they do, Luke Truman, some of the different running plays that they have designed for him, so many things that they can throw at you.
3rd and 2. You imagine 4-down territory. They won't need it. Mayenza down to the 11-yard line. And inside the Beano's red zone are the Tigers.
And this entire drive for the Tigers has been led by some outstanding blocking on the perimeter. Look at that hole being set on the outside. Springs the running back free, and the chains move for North Allegheny.
They can't get a first down without getting a touchdown, as the ball is at the 11-yard line. And trying to take away as much time of the remaining 95 seconds in the half. Misdirection, Mayenza down to about the 6. 2nd and 5.
Now, Manza, it's been his drive, sort of like the first time the Tigers scored the touchdown. It was Luke Truman's drive, where they go to him to get the yardage. Now they change things up.
Mayenza coming into the backfield on 2nd down, and a toss. Mayenza untouched and in for the touchdown. A Point Park University score. And we've got ourselves a one-possession game.
Well, all season long, Pine Richland, the games that they have played generally aren't close. I mean, they have won every single game that they have played by 24 points or more, but we could have a ball game if North Allegheny can continue to run like they have been doing, and just the way that they blocked on that drive set things up for them.
Tom Falo adds the extra point successfully. It's 21-14 with 62 seconds remaining in the half. Mayenza with his 8th rushing touchdown. The junior, as you said, did much of the work on the drive. And it's his first touchdown in the last 4 weeks. Well, the Marriott Pittsburgh North Complex at Cranberry Woods, featuring the great Courtyard Marriott. It's the Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania lodging headquarters destination for visiting Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, college football teams, and fans. Courtyard Pittsburgh North and Cranberry Woods is the official lodging partner of the Sports Fever television network and Friday night rivals in Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania. And next Saturday, that's November the 4th, big one in the PSAC West as Cal PA is at Edinburgh at noon. Brought to you by the Community College of Beaver County. You want to serve and protect or crack the case? Enroll at the Community College of Beaver County's criminal justice, police technology, or criminal investigation programs. And in 2 years or less, you can be involved in a great career. And visit ccbc.edu/criminal justice today. Sorry, Jeff.
No, that's fine, Josh. And I think that matchup between Cal and Edinburgh, that could potentially have NCAA playoff implications. So you'll want to stay tuned.
Belay barely dragging tacklers across the 20. 54 yards. Mayenza, 50 yards and a touchdown on his 6 carries tonight. And he's the one who got in from 6 yards out. They took time away too, and they leave Pine Richland and Jurkovic 55 seconds and 2 timeouts with which to work.
And the scary thing is 55 seconds feels like it's running more than a 2-minute drill with that man on the field. Pine Richland, they would like to get one more score here. Exit the first half with a good taste in their mouth.
Jurkovic to the air. And just led Falcone a little bit too much, and it's off his hands on the slant.
Talk about trying to throw a ball inside a mailbox slot. Falcone with black jerseys all around him. You still saw Jurkovic trying to thread the needle, but as good of an athlete as Falcone is, this was a little bit too tough of a pass to reel in, but still, great effort.
Man who has caught 9 touchdowns this season, Ray Falcone. 2nd and 10. Again, escaping pressure. Jurkovic spins forward for the first down. Or close to it anyways. He didn't quite get there. I beg your pardon. Gain of 8. Clock is running. It's 3rd and 2. A little surprising that Pine Richland didn't call a timeout there. Now they'll move the chains. Just the 2nd completion of the half for Jurkovic as he hits Crawford. Out of bounds to stop the clock. 25 seconds.
Now, I'm with you there, Josh, because they had the 2 timeouts. I was also a little bit surprised when Jurkovic went down inbounds and weren't able to move the sticks that they didn't call it, but there is a flag down, so we'll have to see what the call is.
You can see it's back in the backfield.
Roughing the passer, North Allegheny, 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
That helps the Rams' cause big time.
Absolutely huge. You're just adding fuel to the fire. And let's take a look at this call. See if this should be a roughing the passer. Lets it go. I don't know, as great Bill Raftery might say, maybe a little nickel dimer there.
It was Alex Hayes, the linebacker, and as we're back to live action, the ball is picked off. Or was it? It was a tackle by Sam Humes. We're going to have to take a look because obviously I'm confused.
Well, here comes Humes, pretty much unblocked, getting to Jurkovic, and then everybody piles on. And one of those cardinal rules when it gets to be late in a half, you can't take a sack, and so it means that you have to utilize the timeout.
That was a sack, obviously. I trust me, I do know the difference between an interception and a sack. Sam Humes brought him down, and then you see the timeout called by Pine Richland. They have 1 left. That lost 4 yards. Humes, with his 3rd sack of the year, the senior, has also caught a pass as a tight end here in the opening half.
You know, we make a lot about the Pine Richland defense, but the penetration that North Allegheny's defense has gotten in this first half, making things uncomfortable for Jurkovic and forcing the Pine Richland quarterback to use his legs, and good coverage in the secondary. And North Allegheny, they might be down 21-14 right now, but to be able to limit an offense that scores almost 50 points a game to 21, and then the offense for North Allegheny getting some points on the board, we've got a ball game on our hands.
18 seconds. 2nd and 14. Jurkovic out of the shotgun. Perfect pass and inside the 40-yard line. Ball is brought in by Dawson Goltz, and the clock is stopped to move the chains. This might have been the best pass of the half there for Jurkovic. He's got it lined up from the 38-yard line. Jurkovic has the right edge, and at the 25 steps out of bounds with 6 seconds. So it's a gain of 12, and now you can throw the ball into the end zone You could throw the ball short over the middle of the field and use your last timeout. Options here for Coach Kasparovich. Mark the ball at the 27. And now a timeout is taken defensively by North Allegheny.
This might be a little bit too far for Vito Orsini, the kicker, if you were thinking about maybe going that route. He's only attempted 2 field goals this year, a long of 27 yards, but I think he'd like to take that shot for the end zone just because Pine Richland, remember, will not have the ball first in the second half. They won the toss, elected to receive it. So big play for Pine Richland's offense, and North Allegheny. We'll see if they can get this stop, and they'll need to devise something that will limit Jurkovic and all the weapons on the Pine Richland team.
Don't forget, at halftime, we've got an interview with Dennis Wilkie, president of Rosedale Technical College. Highlights, the best of Thursday and Friday nights from around the country, and also Danielle's going to catch up with Coach Kasparovich. That's coming up at halftime. 21-14, a team in Pine Richland that's 9-0 without a win by fewer than 24 points. But this red-hot North Allegheny team, winners of 6 straight, a confident bunch. We said in the keys to the game, they had to keep it close early. They had to control the clock with the football offensively. They've done each of those things. And now it's the final timeout for the Rams. Well, that takes away the middle of the field.
And what did we also say? If you're Pine Richland, avoiding injuries / mistakes. They've made way too many mistakes in this first half between fumbles and penalties.
Point Park University's downtown Pittsburgh location. Innovative internships and career-focused programs work for you. Learn more at pointpark.edu. And fans, Beano's is the original deli condiment company. They've been making Beano's original submarine dressing right here in Pittsburgh for 30 years. Find it in your local grocery store's deli department. There can only be one original. Beano's. Josh Maurer, Jeff Arnold, Danielle Podlaski, along with our entire crew tonight from Newman Stadium at North Allegheny High. If North Allegheny could win, they would share the conference championship in the Northern 7 with this Pine Richland team that's #1 in the area. Central Catholic, if they win tonight, they're playing Penn Hills. If they win, it could be a 3-way tie. 6 seconds. They tried a quick hitter, and Crawford didn't hold on. But that only took 2 seconds off the clock. Try to get Crawford matched up with the linebacker, Dante Caputo. It's a matchup you like.
Exactly, and the matchup issues that Crawford creates with his speed, being able to line up wide. I mean, you have to remember, it's 7 touchdowns the last time we saw him, but he did have one as a wide receiver.
They're going to try the field goal here for Orsini. 45-yard attempt for Vito. He's 1 for 2 on field goals on the year. It was a 27-yard make. And now he'll try from 45. Short. End over end and short. Also left. North Allegheny's defense has held, and the Tigers bring a ton of momentum with them into the locker room.
Now, things pretty emotionally charged for North Allegheny. It's senior night. You have found a way to win 6 straight games.
Jeff, there was a whistle and I think a penalty flag on that field goal. The teams are being told to come back onto the field. Or not. Halftime indeed.
But either way, though, great first half for the Tigers. A club that has actually won 3 out of the last 5 head-to-head battles. And Pine Richland, some things that they have to clean up with fumbles as well as with penalties as well.
Danielle Podlaski is with Coach Kasparovich.
Thanks, Josh. Now, Coach, tonight Crawford and White have been making those big runs using their speed into the end zone. How useful has their speed been on your offense this season?
Yeah, they're both great kids. we're establishing the line of scrimmage, I think, a little bit, but just not getting enough stops on defense there at the end. They found something that they were going to. So we're going to get that fixed in the second half here, and got to come out and play better.
In the first half, you took a lot of penalties. How has that been affecting your team's play tonight?
Yeah, I don't know how many penalties we have. I mean, the block over here was, question or whatnot. If he doesn't block them, they tackle our quarterback. So I don't know what else you do, how you coach that any better. But we got to get the drawing board. We got to come out here and play a little bit better in the second half. And yeah.
Thanks so much for joining me, Josh.
Danielle, thanks so much. Yeah, that blocking penalty took away a 65-yard touchdown run, and obviously still sticking in the coach's craw. 21-14. We got a game. Halftime show continues after this on 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
Your internet deserves the 100% fiber optic network. It's your last chance to get Fios 150 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds and TV and phone for $79.99 a month online for the first year. Plus, your choice of HBO or multi-room DVR service included for 2 years, all with a 2-year agreement. And Verizon Wireless customers can stream TV on the Fios mobile app, data-free. Hurry and switch now. This offer ends November 4th. Go to getfios.com.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
Catch TV's Funniest Family Monday through Friday.
Why do you have to throw a wet blanket on my dreams?
I do not.
You do it all the time. And you know what I end up with? Wet dreams. I heard it as soon as I said it. Just leave it alone.
Modern Family Nightly. Weeknights at 6:30.
Did someone say dance? Next time on The Goldbergs.
I'm never swimming again because I'm ashamed of my body.
Look in the mirror and say, I have a beautiful body.
Monday at 6 on 22 The Point.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. At the half, Pine Richland leads North Allegheny 21-14. Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by the Pine Richland Marching Band. I'm joined now by the president of Rosedale Technical College, Dennis Wilkie. Now, Dennis, can you tell us a little bit about Rosedale Technical College?
Oh, we're a nonprofit technical college focusing mostly on the trade industries. Been around for almost 70 years now.
And what was it about Friday Night Rivals that made Rosedale want to participate?
Well, I love the connection. Western Pennsylvania, we're famous for a lot of things. One of those is Friday Night Football. The other is our work ethic. And the work ethic of the blue-collar trades is really something we pride ourselves in at Rosedale Technical College.
And how can we learn more about Rosedale?
Well, we've got an open house tomorrow morning from 10 o'clock until noon. It's our campus in Kennedy Township, just off 79. And it's a great chance to come and learn. There's going to be demonstrations. Some of our students are going to be there showing off their skills with the instructors as well, and get to talk to financial aid, the job placement people, just about anybody you want to talk to. And something else, I was really excited to be here tonight because we had a great event this afternoon. Today, downtown in Pittsburgh, we accepted our #1 Best Place to Work award again for the 4th year in a row for large organizations. Really proud about that because if you have people that like to come to work, they're going to do great work for the students.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of our halftime show, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Live, love, get sauced.
Get to Nissan's Truck Month today and save big on Nissan's family of trucks. Like the award-winning Frontier, the Titan XD, and Titan, backed by America's best bumper-to-bumper truck warranty. Hurry into your local Nissan dealer today. Truck Month and these great offers end soon. Take on today. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 12 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models.
We're America's largest independent mutual bank. Without shareholders, we're able to think differently about the banking options we offer, the way we do business, the support we provide to the communities we serve. Experience the difference mutuality makes for Dollar Bank customers and our region. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired.
Roxanne can, and so can you. If you're a high school senior looking for a career, then consider one with unlimited earning potential. Roxanne Agostinelli at Keller Williams can help you unlock your potential through a targeted training program with one of the leading real estate firms in the nation, Keller Williams. All you need to do is get in touch, and Roxanne and her training team will do the rest. Go online right now to roxannecan.com/kickoff and get ready to kick off your career in real estate and score big.
There's something out there for you and me, and the American road is calling, so what's it gonna be? Hey, it's an amazing day, traveling our own highway. No matter where it leads us, we can smile, 'cause there's meaning in the miles.
And now, the best of Friday Night Rivals highlights.
Panthers spreading things out. Brzezinski to throw. Has a man over the middle. Plenty of room to go. Cuts it back outside toward the pylon. Touchdown Panthers. Back in at quarterback, Seth Morgan on a W&J College first down. Down the middle, Aiden Kane on the slant route. And look at him go. Aiden Kane is gone.
Here, things have changed a little bit for Armstrong, but still a close game in the second quarter. On Dollar Bank, first down, they toss it off, and here goes Jackson. Jackson out to the 30-yard line. Courtney Jackson taking it all the way for a touchdown. Goes to work on first down. He throws on over the near sideline. Edmondson has got it. Malik Edmondson. Touchdown.
On a 4th down attempt.
From the 24th Central Catholic, Jerkovic looking end zone, has a man, touchdown. Semifinals in 2012. 3rd down and 11, bubble screen gets set up, and room to roam. Derek Davis, it is his turn for a house call.
Kasanovic to the air. Ball brought in by Diavion Crute.
Santia keeps. A lot of room up the middle. Danny Santia. House call.
Jones is back to pass. Into double coverage, and that ball is intercepted. Picked off by Noah Ledford. Good blocking, and Ledford's across midfield. Gallant follows his blockers through the middle. Touchdown, Gallant. Back this time is Cruz, and he'll put it in the air. Had a man, but he overshot him. The pass is intercepted. Denard on the return gets inside West Allegheny territory.
Set up the screen. Deans, I don't think, was expecting it. Blockers in front. Deans, touchdown. They give it to Crawford. How about another one for Jordan Crawford?
Point Park University encourages students to be themselves, speak their minds, express their creativity. It's not about fitting in, it's about helping you stand out and be outstanding. Refreshingly different. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
Make rush hour an adrenaline rush with the 2017 Nissan Altima. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring available automatic emergency braking that can help you stop safely and keep you out of a jam. Take on today and save up to $1,800 on Altima or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 12 models.
The home at 200 Pine Street. The agent. The office. The agent out of the office. This is what you see. This is what you don't see. The hustle. The huddle. The drawing board. The shuffle. The open house. The bees buzzing. The buyer. The offer. The negotiation. The pit bull. The sigh of relief. The close. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
RE/MAX Select Realty. Doing more from for sale to sold. That's the sign of a RE/MAX agent.
Your internet deserves the 100% fiber optic network. It's your last chance to get Fios 150 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds and TV and phone for $79.99 a month online for the first year. Plus, your choice of HBO or multi-room DVR service included for 2 years, all with a 2-year agreement. And Verizon Wireless customers can stream TV on the Fios mobile app, data-free. Hurry and switch now. This offer ends November 4th. Go to getfios.com.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
The true value of a college education is only realized after you graduate. Point Park is an affordable private university that's big on a return for your investment. When you're prepared, success comes naturally. Surprisingly affordable. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
And now, the best of Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights.
Grayson Trammell, over 400 yards passing. Here's Trammell, sets his feet, fires, pass complete to Avery Brown. He slips but keeps his balance and heads downfield to the 40, 30. Blockers are there. He's going to the end zone. Avery Brown, touchdown, Shelbyville.
Straight back to pass. Look at this, set up a little bubble screen, and
oh my
big
goodness.
hit is dished out by Hodge. That was perfectly timed.
Snyder looks, got his man. Oh, flea flicker to the 40, 45, midfield, down the sideline. Easton's going to score first down and quite the pickup there for Lucas Lieb and Monticello.
That's what it is here. What a tackle. They got him.
One guy and see if he can get you some yards.
139 yards a game this season. Past the outside. They're going to go deep, and they've got a man wide open. Brady Bellotto in for 6.
Was in the slot, so they throw it back to him, and they fall for it, and it's Brady Bellotto running wide open down the field.
And with time clicking off, Albano's going to roll right. 45 seconds on the clock. He's in the pocket. He's going to heave it downfield. You got a man downfield, and it's going to be a touchdown. And Albano pulls a rabbit out of his green hat.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue with available automatic emergency braking that could help stop for you. And motion-activated liftgate. You still got some tricks left in you. Take on today the Nissan Rogue family. Lease today, starting at just $159 per month, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 12 models.
Your new career is just down the road.
I was laid off, and I was looking for something I can do that I could still make a good living for my family.
Well, U.S. Express, we found that All-State career graduates are very well prepared to come into the industry.
Benefits of the All-State career program, they made sure they gave you the skills needed to become a professional driver.
It's a way for a driver to be able to see the country, get paid for it, and have job security into the future.
Call All-State Career now or go to allstatecareer.edu.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
Did someone say dance?
Next time on The Goldbergs.
I'm never swimming again because I'm ashamed of my body. Look in the mirror and say, I have a beautiful body.
Monday at 6 on 22 The Point. Catch TV's funniest family Monday through Friday.
There's my boy, Zip Line Extreme.
Modern Family Nightly. Weeknights at 6:30 and 7:30 on 22 The Point.
Brought to you locally by Fios by Verizon. Visit getfios.com today.
For the first time in 6 weeks, the top-ranked team in the area at 6A. Pine Richland is in a game at halftime. Trying to go 10-0 in the regular season. The Rams have a 7-point lead, 21-14 over North Allegheny. We're having a fun one here on our final broadcast of 22 The Point's Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy here this year. Along with Jeff Arnold, I'm Josh Maurer. And Jeff, we've got a game, everything that we said North Allegheny had to do to stay with this Pine Richland team. They've pretty much been able to do it.
And they pretty much have been able to do it. They have found a way to use the running game to their advantage. Pine Richland has helped them out with some mistakes, putting the ball on the ground, committing all the penalties that they did. And even though Pine Richland has the lead right now, Josh, I think you could very easily make the argument that North Allegheny outplayed PR in the first half.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the opening 24 minutes, and it started with some long runs for the Rams.
Yeah, it was Kenny White breaking things out. He was able to escape a couple of tacklers, and then it was all green in front of him the rest of the way. That would not be the last time that we would hear from Kenny White in the opening half. But Jordan Crawford, 7 touchdowns, the first time that we saw Pine Richland against Central Catholic. This TD would go for 95 yards. And like White, he has that unbelievable breakaway speed. But you would get an answer from North Allegheny. Luke Truman, after he helped convert for North Allegheny on 4th down and short, he finished the drive off. Phil Jerkovic looked like he had a 65-yard touchdown, but the illegal block nullifies that. Still, White gets back into the mix. He races it into the end zone. Very well could be a track star with those speed and those shoes, too. Look at those beautiful neon green shoes. But North Allegheny would have an answer before the very end of the half. And North Allegheny, they used a couple of different running backs, but this would be the drive for Manza, who took that one deep, and then here he would get close to the 5-yard line, and then he would finish things off, taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Ben Manza doing a nice job there. You take a look at some of the statistics. Even though you had Pine Richland outgaining things overall in terms of total yards, a lot of that was due to some big plays. 6 penalties, something will need to get cleaned up.
One thing you don't see on your screen there in our stats is the time of possession. About 6 minutes in favor of the Tigers from North Allegheny, holding onto the football more than that high-powered offense that the Rams from Pine Richland have. So they've kept Phil Jerkovic for a large portion of the half on the sidelines. The extra 10%. Earlier tonight, a big check presentation to North Allegheny High School took place. Representing 22 The Point is Tim Emerson, and accepting the $500 check, North Allegheny, their intermediate school principal, Brendan Highland. 22 The Point is proud to bring Friday night rivals again this year. We've had so much fun. And they are also proud to support high school football in general here in Western Pennsylvania. We would like to thank Tootie's Famous Italian Beef in the South Side for providing food for our crew. Right now, get 40% off with their fall special. Go to toutiesfamous.com to order right now. We've enjoyed that food throughout the 10 weeks. Pair up this package this year. Well, Art Walker is the head coach at North Allegheny. I bet she's pretty pleased. He's with Danielle.
Coach, your defense has been all over Phil Jerkovic, making those mistakes and fumbles. How proud are you of their play tonight?
I'm ecstatic. They're playing hard. They're getting after it. They're playing team defense. We gave them a couple big plays. We can't allow that to happen. They got some great players, but our guys are going to keep fighting, and that's all we can ask them to do. We're in the game. That's what we want to do. We want to be a team and play them in the second half, and we've got that opportunity right now.
They're only down by 1 score. What does your team need to do to claim the lead?
Well, if we could tie it up right now, because we're getting the kickoff, so we could tie it up. It's a brand new ball game.
All right, thank you so much for joining me, Josh.
Well, we said that Coach Walker was probably pleased. He confirms he was very pleased.
And, you could make the argument, Josh, that North Allegheny could potentially be tied right now with Pine Richland because Phil Jerkovic, and the replay that we saw showed it, Jerkovic fumbled the football, was ruled to have been down by contact, but instead they said that he was down by contact, and so for that reason, Pine Richland was able to keep the football. But North Allegheny, I think one key for them, see if they can force some takeaways and maybe turn that into points. Coming in 11 takeaways in the previous 3 games. So they've been doing it. Now can they do it against PR?
You think you know who's going to win this game? I think that's very much in doubt. We'll go to 22 The Point on Facebook or Twitter and vote in the Point Park University Poll of the Week. We'll keep you updated. Pine Richland holding on to the lead in the game and in our Point Park University Poll of the Week. As you heard from Coach Walker, his offense is going to get the football first here for a big drive. Meanwhile, that man, Eric Kasparovich, he told Danielle right before he headed into the locker room, he said, we're going to get all those mistakes cleaned up. He didn't seem too concerned about it.
No, and there's really, you have so much confidence in your team. And let's face it, Pine Richland has had the type of year where how much adversity have they really been through? Not much at all. And so even though they have a 7-point lead, they have some things to get cleaned up, this is potentially a learning tool for the Rams, who have a notion of getting to the PIAA championship and winning it this year with the team that they have. So being able to work through some of these issues on the road on senior night where you're in an emotionally charged atmosphere, we'll see what they can do.
The second half kickoff brought to you by Keller Williams Realty, the Roxanne Can Kickoff. High school seniors, kick off your real estate career after graduation with our high school training program. Log on to roxannecan.com/kickoff for more information. There's Vito Orsini, missed that long field goal in the final play of the opening half. He's got it teed up at the 40-yard line. The final 2 quarters of the regular season and a 7-point game here at Newman Stadium. Up to about the 27-yard line goes Barsdale. And that is where Luke Truman and the Tigers offense will come out onto the field for a W&J College first down as Cooper Lawton was able to bring Varsdale to the ground. Well, in the first half, we didn't see a ton of passing. In fact, Truman and Jurkovic each only 3 pass completions. North Allegheny's scores came on runs from Truman and Ben Mayenza. The 3 long touchdown runs for Pine Richland, 2 from Kenny White, and the 95-yarder from Jordan Crawford. Ball to the 25-yard line and a toss to Turner White. Running through tackles. And 9 yards, he almost slipped free. Kenny White makes sure that he does not.
You talk about Turner White running with everything that he has. See, the block on the perimeter looked like he was dead to rights. There's one missed tackle, a second missed tackle, and White just manages to get a cleat to make the takedown.
Playing on his senior night. Breakout year, leading running back for the Tigers, and they gave him a good spot. Up to the 35 for a W&J College first down. They'll try it again with White that time into the middle for 4. Art Walker Jr., what a job he's done with this team in his 13th season as the head coach at North Allegheny. 7 years to begin his head coaching career at Central Catholic before that, where he won a state championship. 2 more PIAA state titles here with the Tigers.
He was the head coach at Central Catholic when he was just 26 years old.
Son of a legend in these areas, Art Sr. This to the air for Truman, and Varsdale couldn't get it. No penalty flag, and they were looking for one on the Tigers' sideline. John Varsdale, who has a touchdown catch 5 straight weeks. They haven't been able to get him the ball today.
Now, Varsdale, kind of a playmaker. He can run a 4-4, 4-5, and he had a step against Jordan Crawford, who we know how well he runs, but pass was out of the reach.
I think good no call, Jeff. Crawford with pretty good position there, staying with Varsdale. They're each very speedy. 3rd down and 6. Opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And a whistle. That was Turner White in motion. Flag on the field.
Timeout.
Nope, timeout.
North Allegheny.
We'll be back with 3rd down when we come back. 7-point game on 22 The Point's Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
We're America's largest independent mutual bank. Without shareholders, we're able to think differently about the banking options we offer, the way we do business, the support we provide to the communities we serve. Experience the difference mutuality makes for Dollar Bank customers and our region. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired.
Big possession to open the second half for West. Beg your pardon, for North Allegheny, trailing 21-14. Discover the RE/MAX Select difference, personalizing the home buying experience. RE/MAX Select, and fans, be a president at Washington and Jefferson College. Washington and Jefferson College. Learn more at washjeff.edu. This is 3rd and 6. Looked like some movement up front. Pass is caught, but short of the first down. Big hit by Jordan Crawford on Corey Melzer. There was no penalty flag, and it's 4th down.
And you know, North Allegheny utilizes that timeout. It's one that might have come in play later, but this is a good open field tackle by Jordan Crawford. Nice form. Lowest man tends to win. You get the takedown on Melzer, and you prevent the first down.
And Art Walker is going to play again the field position game, and he's going to send out the punt team on 4th and a yard. And he's done this, Jeff, I think this is the 3rd 4th and 1 that they've decided to punt. Coach Walker, even against an offense as high-powered as Pine Richland, trusting his defense and trusting his punter, Truman. Bouncing towards the 20 and now inside of it. Ball finally dead at about the 17. See, they're trying to push that football a little forward. Rams will have the ball for the first time in the second half, leading by 7. Go back to the future when a modern family teams up with a retro family. The Goldbergs at 6 and 7, and then Modern Family at 6:30 and 7:30. Catch them weeknights right here on 22 The Point. There was a flag on the field at the end of that punt. Again, the ball rolled dead just inside the Pine Richland 20-yard line. Referee tonight is Steve Dobis. Still talking about it. I think it's interesting how Coach Walker has trusted his defense tonight as much as he has to punt the football away on 4th and short. It's worked out some, and other times you got a 99-yard touchdown drive and a 95-yard touchdown drive.
Yeah, exactly, and this is as confident as I think he's been in his defense. He described to Danielle he's ecstatic at the way that they played, how much pressure they got against Jurkovic, and limiting Jurkovic who to just complete only a couple of passes in the first half. The coverage in the secondary was locked down.
Well, this one took a long time to figure out.
Holding on Pine Richland during the kick. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Maybe Coach Walker was thinking, hey, why couldn't that penalty have been before the kick? Then I get the automatic first down. It was after the kick.
And think about this, if you're Pine Richland, it's a team that has not had their starters in for the third quarter since all the way back in the game against Penn Hills, which was 6 weeks ago. That week it was 14-6 Pine Richland in the third quarter. Now, eventually the Rams were able to break out, but will the story be the same tonight?
We'll find out. It's W&J College first down, and after the penalty, the ball is back to the 9-yard line for Jurkovic. For the super talented senior leader of the Rams, Jurkovic hadn't been on the field, as you said, in the third quarter. It's been a long time. Kenny White down by the ankles after a gain of about 5.
What they have done to make up for that is maybe do some things where you're trying to run a 4-minute offense in the first half, trying to set up certain scenarios for your offense in the first half so they can still work on things that they'll need to have in the playoffs.
Wow, and that pass was dangerous. It's incomplete. Ben Yoakum, the H-back, was the target. He got hooked up with one of the defenders.
Yeah, this one from Jurkovic, he was looking for it, but then he turns around, sees Melzer coming right into his grill. Incomplete.
Third down. Third down and 4 here for the Rams at the 15. If the Tigers defense can get the stop, it's going to make Coach Walker look like a genius for punting that football away. White standing to the quarterback's left. And he gets the carry. Kenny White, and he's very close. Needed the 19. The spot looks like it's the 18. 4th and inches.
Such great work by the defensive front for North Allegheny. You have 3 returning juniors, all Division I prospects on the Pine Richland offensive line, a dynamic running back, and you hold them short. What work by the Tigers.
Now, Belay, you see running off the field to the far side. He's the punter. So with the punter running off, that means the Rams are going for it on 4th and inches. Jurkovic out of the shotgun and has it. A first down conversion. W&J College 1st and 10 as the safety Rankin made the stop.
Well, there's a lot of confidence in Jurkovic, but you have to remember he can run and he's hard to bring down. So you keep it with him, you keep the offense on the field. Bold, but really how bold?
Gained about 4, and now it's Crawford on the quick hit. Out of bounds at the 28-yard line with Colella, the safety, ushering him out there.
And this is where you'd like Jurkovic to complete some of those quick hitters, get some intermediate passes, get things moving at the speed that you want them to, and then maybe you get that big play or you take that big shot downfield.
Second down 5, pump fake, and again to Crawford, right at the first down stick, out of bounds, 33, should be a W&J College first down. Might have been the exact same play.
Yeah, it looked to be exactly the same, and who's one of the most reliable men on the field? Doesn't matter if you line him up with a running back or the wide receiver. It's Jordan Crawford, and Eric Kasparovich happy that Crawford's on his team.
Well, they called him out of bounds a yard before the first down stick. 3rd and 1, no problem. Jurkovic, Phil Jurkovic. No one will catch him. The 4th long touchdown run of the night for the Rams. There's a flag on the field. Point Park University touchdown if it stands. 68 yards. The flag is back at their own 45-yard line. And Pine Richland thinks it's against the Tigers. It is.
Holding North Allegheny. That penalty is declined. Touchdown is good.
Phil Jurkovic's 13th rushing touchdown of his senior year. And this, a huge one, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. You saw Humes coming off the edge from his defensive end position, and Jurkovic seeing it out of the corner of his eye. He just tucked it and ran with it. And then for Jurkovic, like it was for White, like it was for Crawford, lots of green in front, and it ends with a touchdown.
Look at that emotion at the end of it, too, for Jurkovic. The announcement was that the penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, and so still the 20-point extra point for Vito Orsini. High snap. Good job to get that one down, and the kick is good. They score in big, big ways, don't they? 28-14 Pine Richland, 22 the point Friday night rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Shaped by the energy and opportunity of downtown Pittsburgh, the Point Park University experience is unlike any other. It's a more active, more engaged, more professional education. Ideally located, that's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
Live, love, get sauced.
You choose 4 years of talking about the real world or 4 years immersed in it. After a hands-on, career-focused education, Point Park University graduates enter the workforce prepared to succeed, professionally designed. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
At the end of tonight's broadcast, we will be selecting the IGS Energy player of the game, and you've got lots of candidates coming up from Pine Richland suddenly. They've scored on touchdown runs of, get this, 56, 95, 81, and now 68 yards.
You pick up frequent flyer miles for distances that long.
Pine Richland opens the scoring here in the 3rd quarter, and let's take a look at the drive summary brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine. Treating, training, and inspiring athletes. 91-yard drive. That's the 3rd touchdown drive tonight that's gone over 90 yards for the Rams. And because of the holding penalty on the touchdown, move it 10 yards further, and Orsini kicks it off from midfield. If he wants to, should be able to kick this one into the end zone, and that's exactly the case. Bring it out to the 20-yard line. And now let's check in with Danielle Podlowski on the sideline.
Thanks, Josh. Now, Phil Jurkovic is arguably one of the best dual quarterbacks in the nation. He took over for the Rams as a starting quarterback back in his sophomore season and has been on an upward trajectory ever since. Now, Phil committed early to Notre Dame in that sophomore year because he knew right away that it was a perfect fit. Phil says that he wanted to go somewhere with great academics because he knows that anything can happen in football, and in case of an injury, he wanted a degree that would provide him with a solid foundation after graduation. Phil says that he's such a strong competitor that has a hunger for championships and feels that he has a great shot at a national title down in South Bend. Josh?
Thank you, Danielle. Well, they're always seemingly in the mix, as they are this year for Brian Kelly. Just the one loss to Georgia early in the year. From the 20, W&J College first down, and this is Manza. He's run hard, and he gains about 9. Before one of his games, a big game earlier this season, Brian Kelly, on a Friday night before Notre Dame was going to play Michigan State, made the trip out here to Western Pennsylvania to watch Jurkovec play on a Friday.
It was actually against Bethel Park, so that was the week before we had Pine Richland originally on 22 The Point's Friday Night Rivals, and part of the reason why Jurkovec took care of things pretty early with Notre Dame, just wanted to not make it a distraction.
White fighting for the first down, and looks like he has it. Turner White took extra effort with Tyler King, the linebacker, having him wrapped up. It's a W&J College first down, though, for the Tigers.
And Eric Kasparovich, he marvels at the way Jurkovec handles all the pressure, all the attention, and it's what you would expect from somebody that is headed to Notre Dame.
The numbers this season for Jurkovec are eye-popping. You mentioned it earlier, almost 80% pass completions coming in. Now, tonight he's been a little bit off by those standards. From the 31-yard line, it's 1st and 10, and Truman to White. Nothing. See that stout defense. That time Tyler King again getting to the ball carrier. He, along with fellow linebackers Anthony Sermonera and Jared Marfizi, can control things from the middle of the defense. That man, Luke Meckler, the strong safety's had a big night as well. Well, let's see if the North Allegheny Tigers can respond yet again. Twice tonight. In the first half, they fell behind by 14, then scored. Now behind by 14 in the third. They get another first down on the carry by Turner White. Sermonera makes the tackle.
And Sermonera, he held on for dear life on this play, because look for a second like North Allegheny's Turner White might have been able to spring free, but Sermonera, once you get into his grasp, it's very hard to get out of it. Dawson Goltz also coming in to help.
W&J College 1st and 10. Getting closer to midfield here at the Tigers. Second possession of the second half. Truman wants to put it in the air and just throws that one into his bench. Good coverage on John Varsdell again.
And Truman in his first year as a quarterback, his brother Riley, he helped form a two-pronged QB attack with Ethan Manza back in 2015. Truman, he had to wait his turn before he got the opportunity, but did a really nice job in spring ball. Stepped up big for the Tigers this year. We saw in the second quarter the things that he could do with his legs, and any kind of comeback against Pine Richland will need to start with him.
2nd and 10 at the 44. The fullback Langdon just across the midfield stripe to make it a 3rd and 4. Tyler King wraps him up. Second carry for the senior fullback Ryan Langdon.
Tigers have run a variety of misdirection tonight, try and get Pine Richland off balance, and you see a little hole opens up, but then King able to plug it from his linebacker spot.
Needing 4 to extend the drive, it's 3rd down. On a toss, Manza has the edge. Varsdell, the wide receiver, gave him a good block down the field. And out of bounds at the 35-yard line, it's a 15-yard gain.
Manza, who had the last touchdown of the first half for the Tigers. There's a great seal block on the outside that helped spring things. It was Turner White that set it, actually, for North Allegheny, and allows for the Tigers to move the chains.
Ben Manza had not scored in the previous 3 games. He found the end zone late in the second quarter. You could argue that he's been the most effective ball carrier tonight for the Tigers. Now back to Turner White for only a yard. Kenny White tackles Turner White.
How many times have we seen North Allegheny nearly spring free and be able to get to that second level, and Kenny White is the one running up from his secondary position, going low and taking out the legs of the running back for North Allegheny. Kenny White has quietly played a really nice game defensively.
I agree with you, Jeff. He's been all over the field on both sides of the football. 2 long touchdown runs on offense for Kenny. 2nd and 9. Turner White. This time he gets the right edge. And out of bounds with a penalty flag coming in for a late hit. W&J College first down on the run. He gained about 14, and you're going to tax him onto the end of it, I believe. This will bring it into the Beano's red zone.
Dead ball, personal foul, Pine Richland, half the distance to the goal, first down.
I think this was a pretty clear-cut call for the officials. See the handoff bouncing to the outside, and then just too much of a late hit going at things after the whistle. And it was Thomas Burns, the one that dragged him out of bounds and forced the personal foul call. So now you're on the doorstep.
Mark it at the 10, 1st and goal. White still fighting, but down on the ground after a gain of 2. Tyler King brings him to the ground. Again, inside that Beano's red zone is North Allegheny. These Tigers tonight, as I mentioned, Jeff, thus far, every time they've fallen behind by a couple of touchdowns, have been able to respond.
Pine Richland, they just haven't been able to get things into a comfortable lead like they've had oftentimes throughout the year, and North Allegheny trying to find another answer here in the 3rd.
2nd down and goal, operating out of the eye. And on a pass, it's there, it's caught, it's touchdown. It's Bobby Snyder. Beg your pardon, 83. Brennan McCauley on the Point Park University touchdown for the Tigers.
This is beautifully sold by Luke Truman. The rollout, and there's McCauley, one of those tight ends. Talked about how active the North Allegheny tight ends are, and he is left by himself in the back of the end zone. Burns can't get there in time, and North Allegheny answers again.
The extra point is kicked good by Dom Falo. 28-21, back and forth we go. Coach Walker is pumped up. 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
You define success. Jumpstart your career with W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
Heads up. Hey, nice catch.
Thanks.
Welcome to W&J. Where are you headed?
I'm trying to find my class.
Acceptance goes beyond a letter. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Back within a score again, the homestanding Tigers from North Allegheny playing on their home field at Carl A. Newman Stadium. This house is packed. And what a game here to finish the regular season. Josh Maurer, Jeff Arnold, Danielle Podlaski. An 8-yard pass over to the tight end, Brennan McCauley, his second receiving touchdown of the year. Brought to you by UPMC. Here's your scoring summary. 80 yards, 11 plays, and almost 4.5 minutes off the clock. That has been the order of the night for Art Walker, Jeff. It's been time-consuming touchdown drives.
Yeah, exactly, and they're that running team, and we noted in our keys to the game that being able to control the clock and make it difficult for Pine Richland to get the offense back on the field would be a key. So far, a couple of different options, and it's a ball game once again.
Phalo kicks it to Belay. Cam Belay dancing in the middle. Down on the ground at the 33-yard line. Case Vanderzee made the special teams tackle for North Allegheny. 3:46 to go here in the third. Next Saturday, November the 4th, it's Cal and Edinburgh, a huge game in the PSAC West. It starts at noon. You can check out all the action brought to you by Butler County Community College, serving Western Pennsylvania with accessible, affordable, quality education. Find more at bc3.edu.
And then the week after that, we'll have the PSAC championship game. It'll be in the East this year, looking like Bloomsburg or Westchester would be the team that hosts.
It's a W&J College first down for Jerkovic. Jordan Crawford, room in the middle. Crawford shifts to the left. And inside the 40 of the Tigers is the elusive, slippery Jordan Crawford.
It's been the thing that has saved Pine Richland tonight, making the big play, and here you go. Jordan Crawford had a 95-yard touchdown run earlier in the ball game. Look at that nifty move to get some extra yards.
W&J College first down, and again it's Crawford. Jordan Crawford. Can they get him? Yes, but not before he got to the 12-yard line. The corner, Corey Melzer, makes the stop. 2 handoffs to Crawford, and they've moved the football about 60 yards.
Well, turn things over to Crawford. Watch him go, utilizing the speed, that quick lateral turn. Another one makes it so difficult if you're playing in the secondary to take him down.
In the Beano's red zone, Kenny White has the corner, and Kenny White is in for the touchdown. There's a penalty flag on the field. That would be the third of the night for White, who disappeared into the near side of your screen. That would have been the shortest of the touchdown runs. Just 3 plays, but that one coming back. Here's the call.
Holding, Pine Richland, 10 yards from the spot of foul. Repeat first down.
Absolutely unbelievable effort here by White to find a way to the pylon. One cut, dive. It's a nice effort, but it's for naught. Penalty flag brings it back.
Pardon me, Jeff. I think you can see the hold right there on your screen. One of the men blocking down the field as White left his feet to dive for the pylon. Timeout taken. Officials timeout here. Well, that'll work. Yeah, 187 yards and 11 carries.
But think about it. It may not have been quite as impressive as what we saw the first time Crawford was playing on 22 The Point's Friday Night Rivals this year. 7 touchdowns, and we asked Eric Kasparovich earlier this week. He said he'd never seen anything like that before. 6 on the ground, 1 through the air for Crawford against Central Catholic. Tonight hasn't been all that bad either, and he has taken over this drive for the Rams. Might have been pushed back after that last penalty, but Pine Richland trying to answer after the North Allegheny score.
And Crawford may have to come right back in. He's already had 2 carries of nearly 30 yards on this drive. The reason for the injury timeout, it's Kenny White. After diving for the pylon, he came up, shaken up, and there he goes with a little bit of a limp. Each back well over 100 yards tonight for the Rams. So it's 1st and 10. They ended up losing only 2 yards. So it was 1st and 10, now 1st and 12. You could get a first down at the 2. in the Beano's red zone. 3:15 to go in the third quarter. DeFrancis in motion, but it's Crawford fighting down to the 10.
Number 3, Jordan Crawford, the ball carrier.
It's amazing about Jordan Crawford since Kenny White came back from his injury. He hadn't really touched the football the way he was earlier in the year. He'd only had 9 carries the previous 3 games. But as I mentioned earlier, 6 of those 9 carries were touchdowns. Second down, 8. A first down at the 2. A touchdown if you gain 10. Jurkovic and Pine Richland in a dogfight tonight at North Allegheny. Kept it himself. What a fake. Jurkovic, touchdown. It's a 10-yard Point Park University score. His second of the third quarter on the ground.
Everybody, maybe even us up in the booth, we bought on that with the save for Jurkovic. Holding on to the football, this is just so well executed. Jurkovic, you're almost sure he's handed it off to Crawford and then up the middle for the TD. And once again, the emotion from Phil Jurkovic. He has gotten into this game. It might be a night where he hasn't been at his best. But now Pine Richland with a 14-point lead again.
Vito Orsini is good. Point number 35 for the Rams. Back and forth we go. That drive didn't use a single pass. Jordan Crawford started it, 2 big runs. Jurkovic finishes it from 10. College football fans traveling to Western Pennsylvania, please stay at the award-winning Courtyard by Marriott at Cranberry Woods. Have fun at the fitness center. Enjoy the Bistro restaurant and the Courtyard with a fire pit. Free high-speed internet as well is available. The place for your next business meeting or special occasion, the Courtyard by Marriott at Cranberry Woods, the official lodging partner of the Sports Fever Television Network. Make your reservations at 724-776-1900 or online at marriotts.com.
And the Rams, for the most part today, it has been the ground game which has gotten things done for them. I mean, look at all the big plays that we've seen. White's couple of touchdowns on the ground. Jordan Crawford on the ground. Phil Jurkovic on the ground. And really, Jurkovic is good of a passing quarterback as he is. It's been the run that has set everything up for the Rams.
Jurkovic's 14th rushing touchdown of the year. Again, he had not found the end zone with his legs. The previous 4 weeks until this third quarter, he's done it twice. Vito Orsini kicking off back to North Allegheny. And drives Barsdale into the end zone, another touchback. Scoring drive brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine. 66 yards, all of it on the ground. See if Kenny White's going to be able to come back into the game, by the way. Not only has he had the huge day running the ball, I think, Jeff, he's probably been the best defensive player tonight for the Rams.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And remember, he hurt his knee in week 0 against Wayne. They were without him for some time. I mean, the first time that he really got extended period of time on the field was against Central Catholic when we had him. We saw him play defense that day. He's gotten back into the mix offensively for the Rams, and see him over there on the sidelines, and you're hopeful that he can come back in. And if you're Art Walker, you're hopeful your offense can once again find an answer.
W&J College first down run to Turner White from the 20. Didn't gain much, maybe a couple. Luke Meckler made another tackle. Yeah, if you look over on the sideline and you're that man Art Walker and you see Kenny White not out there, you say, phew. Right now, Jason DeFrancis has moved in, as you can see, number 17 on the near side of your screen as one of the corners. Second and about 8. White, that time stacked up immediately. It's third down and long. Michael Kadick was right there as he took the handoff just about.
Yeah, Michael Kadick, big man, 6'3", 280 pounds. He's great on the offensive line, but just as good on the defensive side, too. Ben Yoakum also coming in to help clean up that play for Pine Richland.
Lost a yard. It's 3rd and 9. For the Tigers to stay in this game, you have to keep responding to all these touchdown drives from Pine Richland. Down the middle, Truman, incomplete for the tight end Humes, and he took a pop. Tight coverage there again is the safety. He's been all over the place, Luke Meckler. And here comes the punt team.
This is a great sell on the play fake over the middle, but it's tough when you know that the footsteps are coming. You had Meckler there. Additionally, Yoakum providing some coverage. You catch that pass, it changes things, but unfortunately you have to go back to the punting unit, and you're hopeful if you're North Allegheny that the defense can find an answer like we saw it do in the first half.
Another punt coming up from Luke Truman. It'll be his 6th of the night. It's a fake, and they've got it. Varsdell on the pass. First down and into Pine Richland territory goes the senior John Varsdell. We said it earlier, sometimes it's nice to have your quarterback be a punter so he can surprise kick the ball. Now, sometimes it's nice to have your punter also be a quarterback so he can do this.
I'm wondering if this was not a fake. I think this was just a bad snap. It was thrown over the middle because it sort of short-hopped him. But still, what poise by Truman. He had Varsdale downfield and find a way to move the chains. Talk about drawing something up in the sand.
34 yards. Varsdell, the leading receiver for the Tigers this year, his first catch of the night. W&J College first down. Maybe the final play of the third quarter. Turner White. Big run. White.
Number 42.
For 10 more. Another first down. Ben Yoakum gets him to the ground. And the Tigers now moving with gusto.
And maybe re-energized after that poor snap and Truman throwing for the first down. You get a solid run, consecutive first downs, and maybe get one more big play here in the third.
From the 35-yard line of the Rams, it's 1st and 10, and out of the eye. White again. Same play on that counter to the left. A time for about 5. Quarter over. That fake punt keeps it going for the Tigers. Trying to match the touchdowns being put up by Pine Richland. We go to the 4th on 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals. Powered by IGS Energy.
Your new career is just down the road.
The benefits of being a truck driver for me, getting home every night, seeing my family and stuff, watch my kids grow up.
We're looking for drivers that are ready to work, are reliable and customer service oriented. Waste Management has a solid history of working with Allstate Career Schools. We hire their drivers because we know they're going to be ready to hit the road once they come to our company.
For more information, call Allstate Career at 800-475-2600 or go to allstatecareer.edu.
We're America's largest independent mutual bank. Without shareholders, we're able to think differently about the banking options we offer, the way we do business, the support we provide to the communities we serve. Experience the difference mutuality makes for Dollar Bank customers and our region. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired.
Your internet deserves the 100% fiber optic network. It's your last chance to get Fios 150 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds and TV and phone for $79.99 a month online for the first year. Plus, your choice of HBO or multi-room DVR service included for 2 years, all with a 2-year agreement. And Verizon Wireless customers can stream TV on the Fios mobile app, data-free. Hurry and switch now. This offer ends November 4th. Go to getfios.com.
Saturday on Fox, Saquon Barkley leads Penn State against Ohio State.
Saturday at 3 on Fox 53.
Weeknights on 22 The Point. We're going back to the future when a modern family welcomes an 80s family. Meet the world's best smother in The Goldbergs at 6. Then don't miss the coolest dad on TV in Modern Family at 6:30. Weeknights on 22 The Point.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. After 3 quarters, Pine Richland leads North Allegheny 35-21. I'm Danielle Plosky, joined now by North Allegheny Intermediate High School Principal Brendan Highland. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, how do you think that playing on Friday Night Rivals impacts these students?
If you just look around tonight, it's absolutely an amazing atmosphere. It's Western Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful evening. You couldn't ask for better weather. We have over, 8,000 people in the stands from 2 fabulous communities that care about their sports, but, they care about their student athletes and they care about their education, and they just want to do the very best that they can, whether it's on the field or in the classroom. And they're coming out here, and they don't necessarily like each other, but they respect each other. And so, when they're across the lines, they go at it, and they go at it hard. But when they get off the other side of the field, they're kind of coming from similar places, and they have similar experiences, and they're just both communities. They're just all-around great kids, and I think they represent themselves well, and they represent their schools well.
And what important life lessons do you think these students can learn from the game of football?
I think one of the most important things is, the name on the jersey, the name on the back of the jersey is not as important as the name on the front of the jersey. And, I think when you play sports, it can be football or any sport, you want to have kids that are we people and not I people. And that's the only way a team can really be successful. And I think that's just one of the lessons that they learn. I think they also learn about determination and grit and perseverance. There's just so many lessons that student athletes can learn, and tonight hopefully our kids will learn the lesson about coming back and never giving up, and I think maybe we'll come back a little stronger in the 4th period.
I guess we'll have to say thank you so much, Josh.
Danielle, thank you. That was a huge run there for Truman. That was on a 3rd and 5, and he moves the chains with a dollar bank first down as we're in the 4th quarter.
And he has single-handedly kept North Allegheny in the game with his legs. You go back earlier in the game where he almost got a first down and a big 3rd down and 17, and then he used his legs to get into the end zone, and they're creating a first down.
White immediately hit in the backfield, and he lost a yard. Back to the 25-yard line.
But at the same token, you get the feeling, even though North Allegheny is close, 11:24 left, you're still down by 14, but you're playing great football if you're the Tigers. It just goes to how deep and talented this Pine Richland team is.
Pine Richland this series playing without Kenny White, the safety out after limping off the field offensively previous possession. The Tigers looking again to make this a 1-score game a minute into the 4th. It's 2nd and 11. Truman on a toss, Turner, White. It'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7. Tyler King made the tackle as North Allegheny approaches the Beano's red zone.
Here's the toss play. Turner White trying to get to the edge, but who is there? None other than Tyler King, one of the top linebackers in the Whippeal, making the stop, and now you're set up in a 3rd down and long situation.
You can call this play if you're Art Walker, almost like you have 2 downs to get the 8 yards you need. Don't have to get it all in one. Obviously, this could be 4-down territory, trailing by 14 in the 4th. Turner White behind Truman, and they'll toss it to White. White wants to pass. He's got a man. Varsdell, touchdown. A halfback pass for a Point Park University score. Oh, what a call.
This was the perfect time for this. The first time with Truman on the punt, it looked like it was drawn up in the sand, but this is one that you just have in your back pocket that you want to use in a spot like this. You pitch it off to White, looks to the end zone. There's nobody covering Varsdell, and just beautifully executed by North Allegheny.
Extra point is up and good as you watch another look at Turner White's touchdown pass. Again, it's a 1-score, 7-point game. What a night here at North Allegheny. Kickoff next. 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Point Park University encourages students to be themselves, speak their minds, express their creativity. It's not about fitting in, it's about helping you stand out and be outstanding. Refreshingly different. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
The true value of a college education is only realized after you graduate. Point Park is an affordable private university that's big on a return for your investment. When you're prepared, success comes naturally. Surprisingly affordable. That's the point. Point Park University, downtown Pittsburgh.
Time to update the Point Park University poll. Pine Richland holding the lead in your votes. Still got time to log on to Facebook or Twitter and vote in this week's poll. Still got much of this fourth quarter to go here at Newman Stadium. North Allegheny in the end zone, trailing the top team in the Whippeal. It's now 35-28. Drive summary brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, treating, training, and inspiring athletes. That drive had just a bit of everything, Jeff. Among the 11 plays, there was a fake punt, and then the halfback touchdown pass, and John Varstel, the senior, caught each of those.
And you know what? North Allegheny is re-energized. You were figuring after Jerkovic ran for the touchdown that maybe it could take some of the wind out of your sails, but North Allegheny has had an answer. Pine Richland, every game that they've won this year has been by at least 24 points, but they're in a dogfight down to the very end with the Northern 7 Conference on the line.
Onside kick. Phalo trying to catch Pine Richland napping, and it did not work. The ball is recovered by the Rams. Then on the bottom of the pile, it's Tommy Camino, the defensive end, coming away with the ball. And that's a huge play for Pine Richland.
Yeah, it really was. You're fortunate that you have Camino with the good hands. This is beautifully done. Just maybe a bit too much on it. Camino dives on the football, recovers.
Is that a shot worth taking at this point in the game,
I think it is. I think you take a shot. You have to force something to happen against Pine Richland.
So Jerkovic and the Rams offense getting field position at the 42 for Dollar Bank 1st and 10. Through 3 quarters, Jerkovic has only completed 5 passes. White back in, which is good news, but he gains only a yard. Again, he's had 2 long touchdown runs tonight for the Rams.
I think that was a calculated risk, Josh. You know, with Phalo being such a good kicker, able to execute an onside kick, you have to take a shot at some point to keep the momentum on your side. And now you force the defense to come up with an answer.
Again, just the 5 completions for Jerkovic. 5 of 12, only 38 yards, but he's rushed it for 2 scores, including a 69-yarder. And now he keeps it and drags some tacklers for the first down. At 6 feet 5 inches, he is so hard to bring down. 220-pound senior.
And he's a winner. That's the thing about Jerkovic. He finds a way, even when tonight has not been good from the passing side, he can use his legs and be still a huge part of the offense.
12-yard gain. Dollar Bank first down, and now we approach 9 minutes remaining. And now we'll have to start watching that clock. White spinning to his right. Kenny White run out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Give him 7. Colella, the safety, is the one who ushered him out to save a bigger game.
It's been such a big night for Kenny White. From the defensive side, he's made some tackles that have saved touchdowns. On the offensive side, he can absorb 1 hit, 2 hits, and still finds a way to go. And look at those rushing numbers for Phil Jerkovic.
Yeah, I think that'll make up for the fact that his passing tonight hasn't been as accurate as we've seen. 2nd down and 3 inside the 40. A bullet of a pass into the arms of Ben Yoakum. Down to the 24-yard line and a Dollar Bank first down. Nico Rankin made the tackle on Ben Yoakum, and now here go the Rams. No huddle. 24 yards away. A fake to Crawford, a spin move by Jurkovic, and that time only gained 3 yards.
Another beautiful fake by Jurkovic, but this time North Allegheny's defensive line stayed home. You thought that he was handing it off to Crawford. Jurkovic kept it himself. Still picks up some positive yards, but at least he didn't break it out.
That was the same play, Jeff. They had the touchdown on in the previous drive. You're right. That's a terrific adjustment by the Tigers. 2nd down and 7 as we approach 8 minutes to go. Jurkovic to the air, and it's dropped by Yoakum. And he's frustrated, is the senior. 3rd and 7.
And today we have seen when Jurkovic has attempted to pass, they've gone with the quick hitters. Maybe a little bit of a pick play on the outside, which freed Yoakum up, but still didn't get turned around in time.
Line to gain is the 14. Ball is at the 21. Vito Orsini has only made 1 field goal all year, although if you do not convert here, it's certainly a spot where if you're Coach Kasparovich, you'd think about it. Jurkovic, he didn't get there. It's going to be 4th and 2, and now maybe they will think about a field goal. Who knows?
You're still in a much better spot than you were the first time for Orsini, who's a very accurate kicker. But the first time out, he was going from more than 40 yards. So I agree with you. I think this would be a much better spot for Orsini to try a kick. Jurkovic tucks it and keeps, and some emotion by Dante Caputo, the outside linebacker, after Jurkovic was held short.
I don't see any sign of a field goal here, Jeff. They are going for it. Play clock is under 5. Pine Richland's going to have to use the timeout. So they'll talk about it. It's 4th and 2 in the red zone when you come back on 22 The Point. Friday Night Rivals powered by IGS Energy.
I was in absolute shock when the doctor said the C word was cancer, throat cancer, which has spread to my lymph node. I was stage 4. And I was like, wow, am I going to live? How do I tell my kids? I had my surgery and treatments at UPMC. It was one of the best decisions I made in my life.
Every head and neck cancer patient that I meet, I have to lay it on the line and tell them that this is not going to be a walk in the park, but I'm going to be there for you. My nurses are going to be there for you. My therapists, you become part of the family.
They told me I'd go to hell and back. They were absolutely right. I never knew why people gave up, but I'll tell you, I went through periods of time where I was curled up in a ball saying, I'm not going. People just get you through that next hump.
There's something different about us because of our experience. We know what to expect. That finish line is there. Let's get there together. We got them there.
I've been cancer-free for a year. I want to tell my UPMC team, thank you. And I love them. I didn't choose to have throat cancer, but I did choose UPMC.
Page 6 TV and TMZ will be dishing up an hour of dirt, rumors, and gossip. Weeknights at 10 and 10:30 exclusively here on 22 The Point. Decision has been made. They go for it. And Kasparovich looks like a genius. Jurkovic on 4th and 2 gets the run for a 1st and goal to the 5-yard line.
Why wouldn't you trust Jurkovic? Earlier on in the second half, you had Jurkovic 4th down and short, deep in his own territory. Go for it. It seemed like an obvious choice. Jurkovic runs for the 1st down inside the 5. The legs of Phil Jurkovic been on display tonight.
1st and goal inside the Beano's red zone. It's a Dollar Bank first down, and they'll take some time away here before the snap. Now up over 160 yards on the ground. White looking for the hat trick. Kenny White in for the touchdown. Number 3 for the transfer. It's a Point Park University score. And his biggest night as a Ram.
Coming over from West Allegheny, huge contributor. Tonight he's done it on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. You give him the handoff. A couple of black jerseys trying to deny him, but Kenny White says, I've got it. And he found the house.
High snap. And now this is the holder, Dawson Goltz, who cannot find a target. Actually, it looked like he had a man there. Incomplete pass intended for Camino, and so it's a 13-point game. Still a big score for Pine Richland on 22 The Point Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
What makes Rosedale a different kind of college?
I'm a condition monitoring analyst with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company. We're looking at about 8,600 machines. We can take that information, present it to the customer, and have them fix it before a catastrophic failure happens. Someone is unsure of what they really want to do, but they're interested in diesels or engines or anything that Rosedale has to offer. If you go there and learn it, there's such a wide variety of things out there that you could do.
Visit us at rosedaletech.org.
Your internet deserves the 100% fiber optic network. It's your last chance to get Fios 150 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds and TV and phone for $79.99 a month online for the first year. Plus, your choice of HBO or multi-room DVR service included for 2 years, all with a 2-year agreement. And Verizon Wireless customers can stream TV on the Fios mobile app, data-free. Hurry and switch now. This offer ends November 4th. Go to getfios.com.
Kenny White's third touchdown run of the night has given Pine Richland back a 2-score lead. About midway through the fourth quarter, it's 41-28. The Rams. Scoring summary brought to you by the UPMC Sports Medicine folks. And that only 58 yards, Jeff, because it started after a failed onside kick. It also included the gutsy call on 4th down.
Yeah, it did. And Eric Kasparovich, he's handed the play calling duties off to Ryan Lahmeyer this year. Every once in a while, he'll weigh in, and you're wondering maybe if he offered an opinion on that. But for Phil Jerkovic, as far as he's concerned, the night that he's had rushing the football, not surprised that he kept it. And then from there, Kenny White wrapped things up and continued his outstanding evening.
It'd be interesting if the Tigers cannot come back further. Well, I think a lot of questions would be about the onside kick that was tried to set up that drive. Now the kickoff from Orsini. Remember, the bad snap led to a failed conversion there after the score. Cologne, precise Cologne, into the clear. And just tripped up from behind right near midfield is the speedy sophomore. He took one back to the house last week. It was the kicker, Orsini, who saved perhaps a touchdown.
Cologne almost broke this thing out. As you see, the sophomore finds the hole, then kicks it to the middle of the field. It's just him and the kicker, and Orsini with the great play. Just a step or two away from taking it all the way off the kickoff. This place would have erupted if that had happened.
They, in fact, had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, and the win against Hempfield last week did the Tigers. Still, Truman, the quarterback, with great field position. Dollar Bank first down, and Truman to the air. Perfectly into the arms of Corey Melzer. Into Rams territory. Dollar Bank first down.
And now's when you need to get some points very quickly. You can't trade touchdowns anymore with Pine Richland. Beautiful setup on the near side of the field, and Truman right on target.
A lot of time, 6.5 minutes. You see Truman starting to heat up here in these last few drives. Again to the air, and over the middle to his tight end, Humes, for about 8 yards, down to the 36-yard line with Sermonara, the linebacker, in coverage here.
Humes, one of the tight ends, is a little bit behind. 6'5", 208, though. Nice athleticism by Sam Humes to haul on that pass from Truman.
It's at a point in the game where they can't keep going with that grind it out running attack, so they keep trying to go through the air instead, and Truman is down in the backfield. Beg your pardon, it's Michael Kadick who made the play for the sack.
Defensive line getting great penetration. Kadick came in essentially unblocked, gets his way to the quarterback. Started as a sophomore on the offensive line, one of the best offensive linemen in the Whippeal. I think you'd make the same argument for on the defensive side, too.
This is 3rd and 11. Truman, low pass. Did he catch it? Now the officials discuss. Again, it's Corey Melzer, and they're going to give him the catch. It is not a first down, but he gains 7. Now Pine Richland saying that ball hit the ground.
I've seen a couple of missed calls from this officiating crew tonight, and I think he used the ground to help him catch the football.
But it's going to stand, and now it's 4th down and 4. No replay at this level. Huge play to try to stay in the game. 4th down. Humes made the catch. Ball comes free. Let's see where they spot the football. They're calling it a catch. They're calling him down at about the 33. And that might be a yard short of the line to gain. It might be a turnover on downs. We'll see.
Well, based on the reaction from some on the Pine Richland sideline, I think they're saying that this was too generous of a spot. They're going to give him the first down.
They moved it forward a yard, Jeff, from where they initially looked like they were going to spot the football. Yep, they gave him some extra yards, 1st and 10. Brought to you by Dollar Bank.
Back-to-back breaks.
So Humes made the catch, and now Truman. Think about this. The 3rd and 11 pass looked like on the replay hit the ground. And now here's the catch by Humes on 4th and 4.
Yeah, and I think he's down at the 34. Exactly. Take a look at that. Great camera work there showing he's down to the 34, but they moved him forward a yard, and that got him the first down.
Now 2nd down and 4. Truman. A bullet. McCauley, another tight end. He dives inside the 20. It's a Dollar Bank first down into the Beano's red zone. These Tigers will not go away.
And these tight ends won't go away on this drive either, getting McCauley into the mix. Remember, he didn't have a catch in the previous 2 weeks, but he's factored into the passing game tonight.
From the 17, as we approach 4 minutes, another low snap. And Truman is down. He lost the football. Jordan Crawford on a corner blitz knocked it out. Pine Richland has it. Andrew Kristofic, the defensive tackle, has the ball. Jordan Crawford made it happen.
We've seen Luke Truman handle bad snaps well tonight. One even turned into a first down, but coming from the backside is Crawford, knocks the ball free, and then Pine Richland, 1, 2, 3 different white jerseys getting on top of the football. Under 4 minutes left to go. That could be the dagger for Pine Richland.
When we talked with head coach of North Allegheny, Art Walker, this week, he made an interesting observation. He said, everybody talks, and rightfully so, about Phil Jurkovic. But Coach Walker said, in my mind, Jordan Crawford might be almost as important of a player to Pine Richland as Jurkovic. He showed it right there with a play on defense. Dollar Bank first down, and Kenny White to the 31-yard line. Time now for our EAS Roofing fans of the game, and let's go to Danielle Podlaski.
Thanks, Josh. I'm joined by North Allegheny senior cheer captain Sarah. Now, Sarah, how emotional has the senior night been for you?
Well, I'd say it's been an emotional night. Like, seeing that PR, our big rival, has almost defeated us. It's 3 minutes left into the game, and I don't know. We were close, but they're coming back stronger, so.
And what has been your favorite memory cheering on this team the past 4 years?
Okay, well, my favorite memory would definitely be just like the crowd and like the student section, getting everyone involved, and just like the excitement you feel when you just get everyone so hype. It's just like awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Josh.
Thank you, Danielle. Jurkovic was still running there. He never went out of bounds, and he gets right across the 45. Great effort. Jurkovic at the Dollar Bank first down with 3:05 to go.
I want to go back to what you were saying a moment ago. Art Walker Jr. talking about the role that Jordan Crawford plays in this team and how he might be just as valuable to Pine Richland as Jurkovic, for instance, because he's a lockdown cornerback. He comes up with the big plays. He's impossible to deal with on offense. He can line up as a running back. You can split him out wide as a wide receiver. He has next level type of speed and is overall huge part of this Pine Richland team.
Kenny White, who's rushed for 3 touchdowns tonight, gains 5 and gets it into North Allegheny territory. We're going to go under 2.5 minutes. It's 2nd and 5 and a 13-point lead.
And Pine Richland, I think, is proving something to themselves tonight. If we don't have our best night, we can still find a way to win. And that's what Pine Richland will see once they get into the WPIAL playoffs. And once they get to the PIAA playoffs, you would think there are going to be teams from other parts of the state that will be able to match up with them. They may not be able to beat them, but Pine Richland knows it's a long road ahead if that man will win his first PIAA state title.
White has the first down. Getting close to sealing it. Kenny White made a statement from the outset here tonight that he is our IGS Energy Player of the Game. This was on the opening drive for the Rams.
Yeah, one of the big plays that we have seen from Pine Richland tonight. Jordan Crawford has come up with some, but Kenny White, he has been so impressive to watch. You see that shifty speed, over 200 yards on the ground. He can turn things up. And between him and Jordan Crawford, that 1-2 punch at the running back spot is as good as any in the state of Pennsylvania.
This one was an 81-yarder, and for good measure, from 7 yards. Penalty flag on a run that gained about 3.
False start, Pine Richland. 5 yards, still first down.
1st and 15, but it's looking academic at this point. So let's take a look at what preceded that last touchdown run by Kenny White. This is our RE/MAX Select Realty play of the game. It brought North Allegheny at the time, Jeff, back within 7.
And you know what? This was one of those play calls that you save in reserve for moments when you need to create something. And this was just so well executed. White looking for Varsdale in the end zone. Great effort tonight by North Allegheny. They'll be well set up for the WPIAL playoffs.
Jordan Crawford, for good measure. Crawford in 6 more. 41 yards and the coup de grace. Point Park University touchdown to seal it for the Rams.
People that were at this game will realize that it has been so much closer than this 47-28 score right now. But Jordan Crawford, we mentioned Kenny White, big plays, 95-yard touchdown run earlier for Crawford, a motor that never stops. He gets free of everybody, and Jordan Crawford, he likes playing on 22 The Points Friday Night Rivals, doesn't he? How many touchdowns is that for him now? What is it, 9? 9 touchdowns.
In 2 games. Vito Orsini makes it a 20-point lead. And how about Jordan Crawford? That is now 7 consecutive games that he has at least 2 rushing touchdowns.
Now let's take one more look at it. The left side of the offensive line creates the hole. He does the rest. Breaking out into the secondary, eventually outrunning Corey Melzer. But in North Allegheny, there is something to be said for competing in the Northern 7 because it prepares you so well for the WPIAL playoffs and possibly for the PIAA playoffs. You're battle tested when you come out of here.
Fans want a more secure future? Will enroll in the Community College of Beaver County's Process Technology program. And in 2 years, earn a degree and be on your way to a high-tech career with companies like Shell, ECI, Mark West, and more. Visit ccbc.edu/process to see how you can be a part of the region's new workforce. Josh Maurer, Jeff Arnold, Danielle Podlaski. Now it's a 20-point game. I want to go back to Jordan Crawford, who started that whole sequence by forcing the fumble on a strip sack. He has, as a blitzing corner, forced 4 fumbles this year. And then he caps it off with the 41-yard run, his second of the night. We'll get the final stats later on. I think now both running backs, White and Crawford, are close to 200 yards on the night. They are both over 200. Again, Precise Cologne. This sophomore just won't go down. Second big kick return of the fourth for the son of a former Steeler. You know, if you look at Precise Cologne, 5'4", 145 pounds, you would never think that Willie Cologne was his father.
No, you certainly wouldn't. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. is certainly built a little bit different than his dad was. You know, looks a little bit different. One's a lanky cornerback, and one was a much sturdier linebacker. But yeah, Cologne, look at that speed. Dylan Stenson eventually escorted him out of bounds.
Go to afreserve.com or call 1-800-257-1212 for more information on how you can start your adventure with the Air Force Reserve. 24/7 roof repair fans, EAS Roofing, the Pittsburgh roofer. Well, down by 3 touchdowns. Probably too late, but still fighting. They've gone to the second-string quarterback in Penn Peschke.
Number 11, Ben Peschke on the quarterback.
He kept it himself as Luke Truman gets the final minute of this game off. You know, you alluded to this, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think this is a game where each coach is going to come away feeling very good. I think Art Walker Jr. is going to say, you know what? We played our tails off against the top team in the region. That'll give us confidence heading into the playoffs. You can see there's a personal foul here against Pine Richland at the end. And then if you're Eric Kasparovich.
Dead ball, personal foul, Pine Richland, 15 yards, first down.
Coach Kasparovich says, all right, now we got a test where we played all of our starters for 4 quarters. Now they know they can do it, and they can pull away late in the close game.
Exactly, and that's what winning teams find a way to do. I mean, North Allegheny kept this much closer than this 48-28 score would indicate.
Man, Cologne is down, although I'm not sure he should have been. Ball was knocked out by Tyler King. They just ruled forward progress on Precise Cologne stopped. Perhaps a generous call.
If you ask me for Pine Richland, what'll determine whether they win a WPIAL championship and whether they eventually win a PIAA championship, it's how well the defense plays. You know, because when Eric Kasparovich, as we take a look at this play, that ball is out.
Hey, it's out, and I don't know how you stop forward progress on that. Takes away Anthony Sermonera from getting a run into the end zone.
But I think for Pine Richland, what'll determine if they can win a state championship is can the defense keep doing what it did during the regular season. Eric Kasparovich knew that if the Rams were going to win a PIAA title, then they were going to make some changes defensively to get there. And this is a Pine Richland team. They've tossed 3 different shutouts during the season.
Petschke in at quarterback. Hands it off now to Matt Como. That'll be the final play. An undefeated regular season for the Rams of Pine Richland. But not without a big-time test tonight from the Tigers of North Allegheny. What a game here at Newman Stadium. 48-28. It was closer than the final score might indicate. Post-game coverage is next. What a night. Stay with us on Friday Night Arrivals here on 22 The Point, powered by IGS Energy.
It's my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian.
See what you can accomplish at W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
The Toyota Truck Event is back for one final month of the year with $500 bonus cash on Tacomas and Tundras in addition to other offers. Pick an off-road-ready Tacoma now with 1.9% APR financing plus $500 bonus cash. Or go with a full-size Tundra and get 0% APR plus $500 bonus cash. Or just take up to $2,250 total cash allowance. Don't miss the best Tacoma availability in years during the final Toyota Truck Event of the year. Toyota, let's go places.
Pinos, live, love, get sauced.
you to find success. Jumpstart your career with W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Saturday on Fox, Saquon Barkley leads Penn State against Ohio State.
Saturday at 3 on Fox 53.
Weeknights on 22 The Point. We're going back to the future when a modern family welcomes an 80s family. Meet the world's best smother in the Goldbergs at 6. Then don't miss the coolest dad on TV in Modern Family at 6:30. Weeknights on 22 The Point.
It was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter, but Pine Richland, the final 2 touchdowns, and the Rams finished 10-0 in the regular season, the number 1 seed, no doubt, in the 6A WPIAL playoffs. They beat North Allegheny 48-28. Let's go to the sidelines now, and with a happy bunch of Rams is Danielle Podlosky.
Thanks, Josh. Coach, congrats on a perfect season. Why has your team been so successful this season?
It's a credit to the kids, the senior class. It's an awesome senior class. They've worked their butts off for the past 8 months, and this is just the culminating efforts of what they put into this. This game was won back in January and February, not tonight.
Now, your motto all season has been one game at a time. How important is that heading into the postseason?
It's huge. This is a good test. It was good to get a test like that, play a 4-quarter game. We haven't played one in a long time. That's a good football team, so credit to North Allegheny. They were well prepared. But our guys, had some resiliency. We had some ups and downs there and, pulled ahead in the second half.
Well, congrats, Coach. And tonight's 22 The Point Friday Night Rival Trophy belongs to Pine Richland.
How about that?
It's the second time this season here on 22 The Point's Friday Night Rivals. They've gotten to hoist that trophy. They're hoping to hoist a few more in the coming months, weeks and months.